We've got to get out of here. We're going to the MCG next for Collingwood, Port Adelaide. In the end, it was Brisbane by 4 points. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks football.
The Triple M Footy Review for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumho free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus, receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go, now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Go!
here we go!
It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Triton models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumho free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus, receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go, now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Go!
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious titanium caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Ah, what an absolute treat to be back at the Triple MCG. Big game tonight. The Pies are in town. The Magpies, Collingwood versus Port Adelaide. They kicked off with a loss last week. The Magpies away from home as they build for a massive 2025. Port Adelaide open their account tonight. Kenny Hinkley begins his final campaign as Port's coach, a proud senior coach and one of his biggest stars in Dan Houston, will pull on the jumper for the opposition Collingwood tonight. And what a cracker it's set up to be. Barry Denner with you. That's the most unimportant thing you'll hear all night because I'm surrounded by some of the biggest names in the industry and I feel very, very humbled to be here. First and foremost, a man who was across town at the Grand Prix and he used every form of transport to get here today. He's a Premiership Magpie. He's done it all Australians, all that sort of stuff. But I tell you what, it was just watching him get over here through the socials was sort of like watching an episode that Gallipoli, watching the movie Gallipoli. Enormous courage. Dale Daisy Thomas, welcome to the MCG.
Thank you, Baz. Great to be here. A little bit like Burke and Wills I was. Most modes of transport, north to south from the Grand Prix to here, and managed to sneak in a stubby with some Collingwood fans, I should say, out the front. Faux pas there. Boy, were they piling into the Blues. But great to be here. Very excited, not only for what the Pies have to do to get back, but also to see what Port can produce, and a debutant up here in the box.
Well, I'll tell you what, before we get to the debutant, I'm very excited about that. This man was down the highway at Geelong this afternoon where he called the absolute pants off it for Fox Footy, and he took a different mode of transport when he was thrown into the limousine and come up the highway. Two-time All-Australian, 287, the great Joe Montagna.
Hello, Baz. Yeah, nice to be here. That was just the entree. This is really what I'm here for today. This in the box, the Triple M box with you guys and everyone here. Looking forward to this game tonight. It will be fun, and looking forward to working alongside yourself and everyone else.
Well, everyone else, let's get to him, because what a treat it is to have one of the country's prominent callers here tonight. And it's been a long journey for him. 10 years at Arnie. That was tough. Very, very tough. It was tough years.
Yep.
The hard slog. Of course, Channel 7's one of Channel 7's preeminent commentators. The host broadcaster, not tonight, Fox is, but it's great to have him here. And I know you're a bit toey, Alistair Nicholson, but welcome to Triple M Footy. You've finally made it. Got him out, my man. Well done.
What a welcome. First time caller, long time.
I warmed him up today too, Baz. I took him down to Rosebud for early 18 holes.
Nice.
He took the cash. He shot 2 under on the back 9, and I snapped a putter and throw it at him. Very, very good golfer, but also outstanding caller and very Triple M. Don't be worried about what you hear on 7.
No.
Yes, we see JB 7 and we see JB Triple M.
Yes.
Tonight, Al, we want you to lean right in.
Looks committed seating, you think? Looks like it's a bit sort of straight, but there's a bit of a...
Are we into public
side?
apologies on Triple M? Because I probably should, if there's anyone listening at the hotel adjacent to the first at Rosebud Country Club, and they got hit by a Titleist this morning.
So
I do apologise.
So, Daisy, your day, you've gone to Rosebud, played 18 holes, you've gone to the Grand Prix, and now you're here. That is some hell of a day.
I've got this thing called an aura ring. It's like a whoop. It tells you your activities for the day, your sleep quality. I'll run you through my day if you wouldn't mind, Joseph. Because from 5:27 when I left the Grand Prix, I did an activity for an hour and 29 minutes. I burned 419 calories, and that was, of course, the cycle to get in here today. The Collingwood banner's gone down, so that's probably
that's a bad omen. That has split in half. That is gone.
3.5 hours sleep last night after I got home from the MCG and just woke up this morning. A bit excited. Down to Rosebud, but here come the Pies. Al, you're a star. We look forward to this.
Yes.
And the Pies, they need to respond, Joey. They were horrible last week.
They were very ordinary. Some question marks just about the age and the leg speed and all those sorts of things.
And
Too
the
early
cramp.
to make the cramp. We're on cramp watch for Nick Dacos. Look, I am expecting them to bounce back. I've tipped them tonight. I just think that they've had that one under the belt. It was disappointing, but I expect a much better performance tonight.
This is the Triple M Footy Prime Time for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners Australia. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners Australia. Put your trust in the experts. Get stuff.
Just because you've checked out and retired, doesn't mean the rest of us have.
Thank you very much. Hard slog for the Pies last week, wasn't it, against the GWS, and in the end a lot of cramping going on. One of the game's greatest players is one of those, Nick Dacos, tonight, but the Pies a chance at the MCG to bite back against a quality opposition.
When you look at the numbers, they weren't horrible, but it also tells a little bit of a picture. Actually won the contested possession by 21. They had one more inside 50, so that tells you, Baz, that they win the ball and kick it straight back to the Giants and couldn't really defend the ground. And in doing so, that orange tsunami was good enough to pile on some big points. The midfield was questionable. The back line was horrible at times. Pressing decisions, not enough pressure on the ball carrier. And they need to be better in that facet. They know that. I don't know. I think I've said that opening round should go, Joey. I think the Pies would be well and truly in that mode as well.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be putting their hand up to play in opening round next year after their 2 performances. But no, I'm with you as well. I think that they did a lot of with things well last week. I mean, for 2.5 quarters, they did have the game on their terms, but as Daisy said, in that third quarter when they just kept getting an inside 50 and couldn't score, it almost broke their spirit. And then the Giants went down and counter-attacked, and I think it was young Darcy Jones that got a goal. And from that moment on, the energy was gone from the group, the spirit was sapped, and they sort of folded pretty easily. So I think that there's a lot to work with, and as I said earlier, I'm expecting a much better performance.
Triple M Reds headlining stats tonight. No one knows the numbers better than this man. A Triple M favourite either at cricket or footy. He's back at the MCG. G'day, Ethan Meldrum.
Yeah, I feel like it's been 5 minutes since I was here at the Triple MCG here, Baz, but it's great to be here with you. Great numbers from Daisy and Joey. Probably one I want to touch on for them. Their pressure factor, only 162 last week. Lowest ever recorded under Craig McRae for Collingwood. So that was partially why they lost that game. Have won their last 4 against Port Adelaide, though. Last 2 at the MCG by 71 and 42 points. So a good record here. Port Adelaide, though, good record first up. Great to start the year. In round 1 under Ken Hinkley, they are 10-2. Their only 2 losses to Freo in 2015. They made the grand final that year. To Brisbane in 2022. They made a prelim that year. So very fast starters are Port Adelaide. Dominate uncontested marks as well. They're 17-4 when they win that. 0-5 when they lost that last year. Of course, we're all here to watch Dan Houston as well. Yes. Dan Houston Cup here tonight. His last 5 games at the Triple MCG, 25 touches or more in all of them, averaged 28. Been in the top 4 ranked players on the ground every single time. Massive goal after the siren against the Bombers included in that as well.
Good nuggy, Ethan.
Yeah, brilliant. Port Adelaide started an interesting journey tonight. Joey, the coach, of course, Kenny Hinkley, finishes up at the end of the year, whenever that will be, whether it be finals or before that. Let's hope for Port Adelaide it's finals. But a little bit of a fascinating journey he's about to embark on it, and with a team that absolutely adore him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works. From what we've heard at the moment, it's still Ken Hinkley's team. He's in full charge, and Josh Carr knows he's an assistant, but we'll just see what that storyline looks like as the season unfolds. Port Adelaide are an interesting one over the summer. A lot of so-called experts, including myself, have them sliding, and I don't know if that's going to be the case. I was at St Kilda, and I know it was only a practice match, but I looked at that lineup and went, they've still got a lot of skill, a lot of talent. It's a different looking forward line, but it's potent because there's so many avenues. Georgiades, Lukosius, the new smalls they've got in their side, Joe Berry and Joe Richards, and of course Willie Rioli, Pau Pepper. They're still looked alike, and the midfield is still pretty talented. It's whether they can hold up defensively. That's going to be the question mark, but I think the MCG suit them. They love to spread the field, kick the ball around, come back through the corridor. So I'm fascinated to see what Port Adelaide bring tonight.
What about the transition, Daisy? We've seen that at Collingwood before and didn't go overly smoothly. What are you expecting from Port Adelaide in that respect?
I think that Port Adelaide seem a lot more comfortable with how it's going to happen, and as if they've planned for it, maybe even 6 months out before we've heard it as the general public. And I think for that reason, there could be a spike. Kenny's obviously gone to war a couple of times and declared that he loves the players. Those players have responded. If you think back to last year, it was a win against St Kilda where he almost came and burst out in tears just to how much he loved the group and the response that he got. Look, I think this year that could be a real spike for them. And there's no better way. The fairy tale will obviously be if they can make it to a grand final and win it. I'm going against the expert judges, Joey, and I think they could continue their rise up. Obviously finished second last year after the home and away season. Pretty poor performances in some finals, but I think there'll just be something a little bit extra that they can find, especially later in the season, to find a bit and play some finals and go deep.
How many teams you got in your top 4?
Yeah.
You've got No, top 8. I got the Gold Coast. Top 4 was GWS Carlton. I'll be able to make some more room. Oh boy.
For Bob Jane T-Mars tonight on the boundary, one of Australia's preeminent newsreaders, Al, is on the
She's
boundary.
a gun.
Absolute gun, and one of our Triple M favourites in Alex Bryan. Alex, Bob Jane T-Mars, buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumo and Pirelli. Visit bobjane.com.au today. T's and C's apply. G'day, Alex.
G'day, you absolutely flatter me, and yes, I'm sweating down here. 32 degrees is the feels like temp, and it is going to stay hot all game. At 10 p.m, still going to be 29, so the heat policy is enacted. An extra 2 minutes longer in the minor breaks and extra water carriers allowed. Let's get to the subs. They are interesting tonight for Collingwood. It is the former skipper Scott Pendlebury. It's Ryan Burton for Port. He's still on the comeback from some groin soreness, and of course we have the Powers milestone man, Darcy Byrne-Jones, 200 games. Now, he actually said during the week that he didn't think about this milestone during the pre-season, as he was more worried about putting in a solid effort and keeping his spot given the new recruits that they have. We are still waiting for the toss.
Thanks, Alex. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, of course, Triple M rocks footy. Ream Hot Water built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. A lot of talk about, obviously, Dan Houston going to Collingwood. Lukosius arrives at Port Adelaide. Where does he fit in this team tonight?
It's going to be interesting to see how he is used, because we've seen him go forward, we've seen him play back, and that laconic kicking style that he has, penetrating ball movement. I think we can probably expect him, Joey, to be across the back line and then potential swing move like you see with a Sicily from time to time to go forward. But I think the back line is where he will start, and that is an asset that he has. There's a few of them down there who don't kick the ball too well, especially the talls. They get a little bit of it, but not so good at using out the back line. So I expect him to be the guy kicking in and penetrating some long bombs out of that area.
This is the Triple M Footy Prime Time for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners Australia. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners Australia. Put your trust in the experts in air, and please, Eve.
You had enough. do you not want this broadcast to go ahead?
You're going to stop drinking port before you go on air.
Excuse me.
The only one you'll get right all night is McDonald's. You can hang your hat on that.
Yeah. A couple of throwdowns we're going to mention.
Oh yeah, my word.
20 nuggets go around twice for that price.
Don't make me think about it, please. Just got to get through the broadcast first. Heath, there were some results earlier today.
Yes, there certainly were. Geelong 78 points over Fremantle. Brief burst from Murphy Reid in his first game, 4 goals in about 4 minutes. Nearly had Freo making a comeback, but Geelong 10 goals in the last quarter. Brisbane, of course, premiership rematch. We've just come from the SCG, 4-point winners over Sydney. Levi Ashcroft, 25 touches in his first game, if you don't mind. Of course, across Melbourne at the moment, Dogs v North Melbourne, so we'll keep an eye on that one tonight as well.
You called the Geelong game, Joey.
Wow.
Impressive start from a side that everybody rates very highly.
They were exceptional, I thought, particularly in that first half. Fremantle just had no answers. They couldn't match their physicality, their toughness, their pressure, their speed and skill. I think they put the competition on notice today, the Cats, that they may be the team to beat.
What about Freo, though?
Yeah, Paul.
Because I was a fan, and I was somebody who was buying the fact that, and you look at that list, it seems primed. You can go across every line and go, yeah, there's top 3 in the AFL, top 3 in the AFL. And they just continue to not fire a shot when the biggest of questions are asked of them. And today was another one of those.
Not sure many people expected them to win, but we would have thought they were going to put in a much stronger performance. So that is disappointing. But we've already seen a few teams this round put in some disappointing performances very, very early in the season.
And Daisy, you saw nothing of Brisbane and Sydney, but Brisbane won this week.
I got the last 5 minutes as I rocked up here in a lather of sweat.
Yeah, good game, ripper game.
A good game, and again, if you did want to know who I didn't have in my top 8, Joey, I had 16 in my top 4, but I didn't have in the top 8 the Sydney Swans.
I was with you there.
Zip and 2 to start. They're obviously playing some okay football. They've run into a couple of handy ones, but as we see, and as we say right now, they are not there, and they are 0-2.
Alex, we've had the toss downstairs for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, we sure have. Collingwood winning that one. I could actually barely tell because Darcy Moore just did a little subtle finger point to the right-hand side, the city end.
Good on you, Alex. Who's going to win and why, Joey and Days?
I'm leaning towards Collingwood. I'm just going to almost think that game they've learned a lot from. They've got the game under the belt. MCG, home crowd. They'll respond. The little superstar, Nick Dacos, will get the triple MVP 3 votes.
How many?
In the book. 37 and a goal.
Oh, I was going to say 37 and 2. I love where your mind was at there. Similar reasons. Intrigued as to what Port can win and what they can produce, but I think it will be the Pies in a close one. I'll say the Pies by 7 points, but I agree with Nick Dacos. Response is coming.
For McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M rocks footy. Here's Alistair Nicholson.
Oh, new ball.
Joining Triple M footy. Take it away, Al.
Oh, I'm going to have to keep my wits about me, aren't I? So here we go. Port Adelaide and Collingwood. Bounce of the ball. Cameron the tap down. Rosie goes through, can't take possession. Now he's tackled. Side bottom in there for Collingwood. So Collingwood, as Alex was saying, going to the city end. Port Adelaide to the punt road end in the first quarter. The ball hasn't left the centre circle. Cameron defensive hand pass to Houston. His first touch to Nick Dacos. Turns it over to the AFL logo and Mead.
So Mead marks on the wing broadcast side. Goes short to Powell Pepper. That's barely the 15 metres. Still on the wing. So they spread inside forward 50. And he goes long with a drop punt. Heads home. Big leap. Sweet in the van. Underneath hand pass Georgiadis. His kick is smothered. Ball goes straight up in the air. Still 30 out from Port's goal. Rosie. Hand pass out wide. Little slap from Lukosius. From 25 out and he's got it. Port Adelaide draw first blood. at the MCG. One straight goal. The Pies hit the score, and that's all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Nice way to start.
Yeah, we spoke about it. Every chance he would start back is what I said, and then he kicks the first goal from the forward line, Joey.
Yeah, he's. I think that's their plan now. This forward line combination with Georgiades will be the one that they'll work with. Obviously, no Marshall. Finlayson is the one that will play a bit more in the back line throughout the year. But that was a terrific bit of play. It was Rosie who won the contest. It was a great ball to be able to win and flick out the handball. And the coach has had a lot of time and space inside his own forward 50. A few Collingwood players got sucked into the contest.
Here we go. Better get the first one out of the way, I suppose, Baz. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
You're official now.
That is it. It's like getting a tattoo. Bounce in the middle. Cameron taps it down. Horn Francis goes past. Socket off the ground by Perryman for Collingwood. Up towards Schultz. He's on the edge of the centre square. Lipinski receives the hand pass. Off the side bottom at left half forward. Gives back to Lipinski. Kicks inside 50 to the pocket. Elliott edged out his opponent. It skids over the boundary line, 25 metres out from the Collingwood goal.
Side bottom there, starting in the midfield, in the true centre of the ground. Obviously, seen him a lot on the wing and across half back at times throughout last year. Pendlebury starting as the sub, so Sidey getting some midfield minutes.
So Sweet and McStay in the ruck. Deep forward pocket for the Pies. Jones tries to work it out for Port Adelaide. Loses in the handle. McStay picks it up. Underground hand pass. Might have been looking for Mychek. The ball rolled out of bounds before he could get there. Still deep in that left forward pocket for the Pies. Port Adelaide's got the one goal on the board.
Now the umpire sets himself next to the left behind post. As the ruck's ready, McStay to go against Sweet. McStay edged him out, got onto his left, snaps, misses. He misses on the left-hand side. And Collingwood with a minor score, its first score of the game. Put Adelaide at one straight.
We have a Harvey Norman replay. Will and Drew putting a lot of physicality into Nick Dacos tonight. That's going to be a tag, and Nick's going to have to work through that again.
And go Harvey Norman up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo. Computers in store and online now. Harvey Norman, best range, best bands, best prices guaranteed. Ball's been worked to half-back for Port Adelaide. Finlayson did the kicking in. A little short pass here to Powell Pepper, who marks right in front of us in the Triple M box. So good start for Port. The Magpies have been inside forward 50 as well. They kick back to centre half-back where Finlayson stands alone, and he goes long to the outer side where Alusa Lear has made position and marks.
He kicks Collingwood, Port Adelaide towards the half-forward flank. Lukosius couldn't take the mark. Moore bashed it away. Comes back to Alier on the edge of the square. He couldn't take possession. Side bottom going through. Flipped out the side to Lipinski. Helicopter kick inside the 50. The mark was dropped in defence for Port Adelaide. A chance here for Collingwood through Mychek. And the ball goes bouncing across the face and into the right behind post. So a boundary throw in right forward pocket down at the city end. Port Adelaide through the opening few minutes, leading by 5 points.
Had the handball opportunity on to the runner going past there in McCreary. Just decided to blaze away, a little rush of blood.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Daisy Thomas with Joey Montagna tonight. Boundary throw in. Elliott bottom of the pack in the forward pocket for the Pies, but it spills out the back to Alier, who just throws it on his left. Cameron was in the van. The mark dropped it, picked up by Houston. Little low ball towards McCreary was brilliant, but he led deep into the right forward pocket, and he's taken it on his chest about 35 out.
There's the exquisite skills on display already from Dan Houston. I'd much rather him kicking the ball inside 50 than out of the back half. If he can get it high, this is what he'll do. He'll set up opportunities for goal.
So McCreary virtually with his backside on the fence in front of the members.
Drop punt operator from here, Baz.
There he goes.
Pretty good too.
Punt, yes. City end of the ground. And there he goes. He's pushed it right. It stays right. Another point to the Pies. So one straight goal, Port Adelaide, and Collingwood 2 behinds on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Has to manage the time he spends in the gym over the off-season, Joey.
Because he's too big.
He just has the ability to walk in there and swell right up.
Farrell takes 20 metres from the kick in and pumps it down the southern side of the MCG. Lukosius marks a beautiful kick towards Rioli inside 50. Edges out his opponent. McInnes and Rioli in the pocket. And it's belted out of play 20 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal at the punt road end. Right forward pocket for the Power.
Starting to see a bit of this, some set plays from kick-in. Hawthorn obviously last night and the week before ran a couple of them. On that occasion, Port Adelaide, they had something set up. The clear roll and go and got some good territory on the back of it.
Sweet and Cameron. Cameron taps it down. Drew will shark it though for Port Adelaide. Little hand pass, Rose. Kick across the body. Burn Jones, game 200. Couldn't mark in the pocket. Josh Dacos in the back pocket, underground hand pass to side bottom, bumped off at Wines. Attacks the footy, and a holding free kick for Port. It's going to go to Drew, who's been held behind the play, so he's got it about 40 out. And again, from the boundary line in front of the Shane Ward stand.
Yeah, just didn't handle the pressure, Collingwood. A little fumble from side bottom, kept the ball live inside the defensive 50, and then because of that pressure, they give away an easy free kick.
Willem Drew starts to wander in. He'd have to kick this a good 38 metres. Drop punt road in. Does it come back enough? No. They're behind on the board. 1-1-7 Port Adelaide. 2 behinds Collingwood. Early stages in the first term. That's all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Houston. As the fans cotton onto the fact that the former Port man is bringing the ball back in towards the right half-back flank. Crisp up in front, punched away by Mead over the boundary line between the Olympic and members stands at the MCG. Repeating those subs, Scott Pendlebury in game 405 and Ryan Burton for the power. Toss back into play down in front of our commentary position. Sweet tapped it down off the little soccer. Rosie under pressure gets a hand pass towards Sweet. The bounce evades him near the boundary line. And in front of the interchange gates as Rosie sweeps upon it. It's tackled and taken out by Perryman. It'll be thrown in centre wing member side.
For Red Z, Eve, how many times has Pendle started as a sub in those 400 plus games?
This is the first time. He's been subbed off, I think, 5 times in his career. Of course, that broken leg against Gold Coast over a decade ago, a couple of times last year. First time starting as the sub.
Boundary thrown on the wing. Side bottom will shark it back of the pack for the Pies. He goes to half forward. Elliott flies in front, went to ground. Membry swoops on it for Collingwood. Long kick to fall forward. Schultz goes up 20 out, can't mark. Burgoyne applies the pressure, walks in front of him and squeezes it between him and the ball. Claims it for Port Adelaide. Hand pass comes back to Aaliyah. Kick outside the defensive 50. Josh Dacos in front and marks 60 metres out for the Pies.
He's at left half forward for Collingwood. He spies something he likes on the edge of 50, not 15. Long not paid the mark, but he goes long off a step to the pocket. Membry the target, Finlayson there. So Finlayson playing in defence as he did in the pre-season. It's over the boundary line. It'll be tossed back in down at the Collingwood end for Bob Jane T-Marts. Let's get down to Alex on the boundary.
Joe Berry, the debutant, has a run on for the power. A big rap yesterday from assistant coach Tyson Goldsack, described as an endurance athlete who reads the play really well.
Tapped down sideways. Horne-Francis hands on the footy, dropped it, picked up by Jones out of the back pocket for Port Adelaide. Goes corridor into the centre of the ground, but Houston was waiting. Nice hands to the big man Cameron. Goes long and high. Schultz got into position, then let it go for his teammate in Membry. The ball's on the deck now. Schultz goes again, hand pass Membry. Standing start from 35, he's got it. The big man, they'll come in numbers. The former Saint gets his first for the Pies. And Collingwood up and about at the MCG early stages here. The Magpies go to 1-2-8. Port Adelaide 1-1-7 as we tick up towards the 10-minute mark of the first term. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with the luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Nice effort from Tim Membry. He was one of the forwards that came under a little bit of scrutiny last week for a poor performance, along with most of the forwards against the Giants, but just a couple of repeat entries for Collingwood, which they weren't able to capitalise on in that Giants game, but they just scrambled, they hustled, got after Port Adelaide, and then they were just able to create something out of nothing, and a pretty clever check side off one step for the former Saint.
Pressure numbers for Red Z, if you can, Eve.
Pressure numbers, Collingwood have lifted, I should say, remember it was their lowest ever under McRae last week. 193 is their current pressure factor, AFL average 180.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Clearance here for Port Adelaide out of the middle as Wines kicks towards full forward down at the punt road end. Standing his ground in front was Howe. Takes the intercept mark for Collingwood. He goes towards Quaynor, still inside defensive 50. 5 metres in from the boundary. He kicks towards the wing. Chris back with the flight, drop the mark. Under pressure now from Boak. He pushes Boak off it. Boak fights on though typically. Slaps it into McCreery. It ricochets to Sin. His hand pass pinched by Long. All happening on the wing. A hand pass Crisp. A hand pass to McCreery. A hand pass releases Sullivan. Back to McCreery at right half forward. Into the pocket. Membry all on his own. He marks 40 metres out from goal in the right forward pocket for Collingwood.
That's a transition we've come to know from the Pies. Just really thinking their way through that. Port Adelaide pressing out, but the Pies good enough just to manufacture that extra number. The handball inside, then back outside, making sure that the Port players couldn't press in a straight line. They had to make a decision and Membry gets on the end of it as a result of all of that.
Starts his approach from outside the 50, about 5 metres in from the boundary at right half forward. Lockie Jones stands the mark. He kicks from 45. Good looking kick. Membry's got 2. And the Pies lead by 7. Collingwood moves to 2-2-14. Port Adelaide 1-1-7. 11-minute mark of the first quarter on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
There was a terrific tackle from Long on the wing on Ollie Wines. Not easy to try and pin him, but he just did enough to affect it, turn the ball from a contest to the outside. Collingwood were able to get the extra number over there, as Daisy said, to support, and then from there they were able to think their way through it, use the right options, just use the easy options, find the uncontested mark, and Tim Membry's always been a beautiful exponent of the set shot for goal.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Don't forget at Macca's, the new AFL Happy Meal is here, and that makes you happy, I can tell you. But with 18 unique bag clips to collect, Al, and available from 10:30 a.m. until midnight, while stocks last for a limited time only, and I can tell you stocks won't last. So get in there real quick.
Loving it.
Beautiful.
Particularly after about 10:30.
Fascinating. There, that was Ollie Wines doing the centre bounce, giving away a free kick to McStay.
And McStay hand passes off to Nick Dacos, who kicks inside towards his teammate in Hill. He dropped the mark, and Horn Francis will clean up from halfback for Port Adelaide. Delivers wide to Bake. He delivered too wide. Went out in the full. Nick Dacos to bring it back in. True wing position out of sight of the ground.
Great pick up there, Joey, and it'd be interesting to see if they go with it when there's not the traditional ruckman in the middle, whether they throw it to Wines or not all through the night.
Nick Dacos to the pack. Elliott flies. Unrealistic attempt, pushing the back. Port Adelaide free kick to Bergman in the right back pocket. So Port Adelaide kicked the first goal through Lukosius. Collingwood's responded with the next 2, both of them kicked by Membry. And it's Collingwood by 7 points at the 13-minute mark as the kick goes towards the outer side wing, and Maynard up in front smashes it over the boundary line. Centre wing in front of the Shane Warne stand.
Inside 50s, if you could please, Heath, in this one. Seems like Collingwood dominating the possession battle and the territory.
Yeah, certainly are. 9 inside 50s to 3. Conceded two scoring shots, I should say, from those 3 inside 50s of Port Adelaide, but all up in one end of the ground at the moment.
Off hands, boundary throw in. Horn Francis grabs it, tackled, and threw the ball up in the air. Advantage paid. Collingwood. Nick Dacos runs away, skips around, goes long. Mychek in front, hits the pack hard. Off his hands, it spills to Alia. He runs out of the back pocket, finds a teammate in Burgoyne. Got a bit of space to work into at halfback, so waited for the option nicely, and Boak will mark on the outer side wing and Porter away.
He gave it off to Wines, who was under pressure, but got a hand pass. Maynard absolutely nailed his opponent, Drew. Ball spills free. Nick Dacos slides in, and he's tackled. Ball locked in on the edge of the centre square. Holding the ball paid in the end. Play onto advantage. Burgoyne to Horn. Francis to Rioli. It bounces off his chest, but he's able to hold on to it at the second bite. And he marks 45-degree angle, 45 metres from goal. He's got an option short, and he goes inside 50 and finds the chest of the first gamer. Berry to line them up from 30 out.
That's horrible checking from the Pies. That is lazy. You could read the cues of the kicker there in Rioli. He was never having a set shot. And as we see on the Harvey Norman replay here, the Pies just went to sleep. Nobody paying attention, nobody talking, no direction there. Very poor defensively.
Joe Berry, pick 15 in the draft. The former Wangaratta Magpie. Comes in on the left, boots, and misses. He pulls it right from 30 metres out, and Port Adelaide moves to 1-2. Collingwood 2-2, a margin of 1 straight kick at the 15-minute mark. And that is on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath. Another game across town at Marvel Stadium where the Western Bulldogs are tackling North Melbourne.
Yeah, Dogs with the early advantage in that game. 2-1-13. They lead North Melbourne 1 straight 6. Cam Zerha lining up for goal at the moment. So close-ish at this stage.
And Berry joins the illustrious club.
Yes.
First kick, first behind.
First behind, yep.
Port Adelaide dominate now.
It's a big club now, I reckon.
1,128, that makes him.
Yes. Yes.
For Red Z.
Boundary throw in.
Don't check it.
Small club. McCreary kicks it off the ground from the wing. Out in front of Alia, who got in front of Membry, but they both overran it, and McCreary lays a heavy tackle. Player hits the deck, and Evans as Membry got in there and squeezed the kick out, gained about 40 metres of territory. The ball went out of bounds, tapped out of bounds, deliberate, said the umpire, free to the Pies. And Elliott to take it right on forward 50, squeezed the pass. And guess who again? Membry's made position about 35 out slide angle. He's having a nice little start to his new club.
Yeah, it'd be 3 in the first 10 minutes.
Saw this throughout pre-season though, dominating a lot of their training, a lot of intra-club, which obviously isn't the greatest guide at times when you have the ones playing the twos, and you get some pretty easier opposition, but started very nicely, works up the ground, works back hard, and is a beautiful kick for goal.
181st game, 296 goals in his career. Membry for 3 in the first term, and the big man's done it. What a start, 16 and a half minutes into the first quarter. Membry's got 3 for his new club. And the Pies have that 3 goals. Collingwood now 3 goals, 220. Port Adelaide 128 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Oh, he's halfway to his PB, 6 is his career high. He's got 3 in the first 10 minutes at his new club. He'd be thinking, how good's this? Getting some good supply. Again, it was off the back of some good pressure from Collingwood. And just young Josh Sin, it was a bit of a brain fade, really. It was always going to be insufficient intent. Membry just worked harder. No one went with him. Found some space. Too easy in the end. Poor defending from the power.
Anything to worry about in that tackle from McCreary? Oh, we need another angle or two, but
it was very physical, wasn't it?
Yeah. Evans stayed down for a hot minute as well, so I think he's still out on the ground. Wait and see.
Wait for the Triple M Harvey Norman replay on that one, Daisy. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy, bounce in the middle, slam down by the umpire. Sweet has a couple of cracks at whacking it. Cameron goes and collects it for Collingwood, gave to Josh Dacos, tackle dispossessed. Kick clear by Maynard, up towards attacking 50. Alia comes to meet it on the bounce, a hand pass to Farrell, who gets a spiralling ball back inside the centre square for Port Adelaide. Boak did well, flicked it forward towards the former Pie Richards. His hand pass indiscriminate. It ricochets off Lipinski. Collingwood now come away as the kick goes out wide from Houston. Unable to mark was Bobby Hill, and now he's battling for possession with Sin.
Sin wins it, got it to Drew by hand, but sitting all over him was Houston, and I think he's going to get the free kick. And he'll claim it, the former power star, now in a Collingwood jumper on the wing on the outer side. Got a few touches early, Heath?
Yeah, leading ball winner at the moment. That was disposal number 6.
Short pass to Bobby Hill, who marks about 70 out in front of the Shane Warne stand. The Pies going to the city end. Have a 12-point lead at the moment. 18 and a half minutes first term. Drop punt towards the forward pocket. Mychek worked his opponent underneath the footy, and the mark was paid. And he's in the left forward pocket, about 25 metres out, about 5 metres inside the boundary.
Finding a bit too much space for Port Adelaide's liking. Collingwood players inside their forward 50. It's the 3-quarter kick. It was Paul Horne-Francis for the one that wasn't able to do anything about it.
Brody wants to get in on the action. He hooks across the body from the boundary. The Pies are on fire. 4-2 now. 26 plays 1-2-8. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
And straight across to Bobby Hill for their standard celebration at the moment. The old shucker that turns into the phone call, Joey. They love that one there, but you're right, loose checking. He did a good job in bodying out Horne-Francis, and if it wasn't going to be him, it was going to be McStay who was coming in behind him. Too easy, some pretty loose checking. Marks inside forward 50 if you can, Heath.
Yeah, on the Red Zeds, 4 so far. As many as Port Adelaide have had inside 50s for the game. So Port Adelaide, Collingwood on top in all facets at the moment.
Harvey Norman replay, that's a big scoreboard.
It's a big scoreboard.
Daisy's all over it. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M rocks footy. Tipping that's Joey's network we're watching. Half-back flank from the clearance.
Looks good.
Looks good. What about the game, Joey? Farrell on the half-back flank. Kicks it out wide.
Oh,
Mead.
Sorry, Al, I snorted.
You what?
Snorted. I breathed in. Sorry.
Finlayson now. Kicks along the line of the square. Berry infield to the bullseye. Finds Lockie Jones. They've worked the angles well here. A hand pass to Farrell. Launches long towards full forward for Port Adelaide. Georgiades couldn't impose. It's collected by Houston. Defensive hand pass to the goal square. Big Cameron's back there and he thumps it out towards the right half-back flank. And Lear rises. Can't mark. Schultz nudged him under the ball. Side bottom gets it. Hand pass along the carpet. That half-back here. Can't keep possession. Collingwood. Big bump. Burn Jones went bang. And he smashed his opponent, Sullivan, who's slow to rise. Collingwood come up with it. Houston. Hand pass towards the boundary. It's flicked out by Drew, and Sullivan still down on his haunches. That was a big hit.
Fair too. Fair, but he's tough too, Sullivan, Joey. He's tough. Boom Jones went bang.
Jordan.
Wow.
Darcy.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Joey and Days tonight. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. And Sullivan just off the ground now, boys, in the hands of two trainers. We'll get down to Alex shortly. Alex heading towards you. He looks a little bit wobbly on his feet for Bob Jane team arts.
Yeah, he absolutely does. He does have the doctor and the physio propping him up. Keeping an eye on Scott Pendlebury. He's the sub, of course. He hasn't moved just yet.
Harvey Norman replay.
Yes.
The button hip
Looks
of
like
Burn Jones. Yeah, straight into the guts and the rib area. So not too much head or concussion worries, I wouldn't have thought.
Angela, Bob Jane team arts. Buy 3, get 1 free on plus instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumo and Pirelli. Visit bobjane.com.au today. T's and C's apply.
Scotty Pendlebury being sub, Joey, fascinates me. Was it too hard to drop him after last week and now just a little bit of a fire up with the sub, do you think?
No, I don't mind the sub for Pendles. I think he might do it maybe 3-4 times throughout the year. Just keep him fresh, bring him on when they need him. If he has to play a full game, he can always come on and impact.
From the stoppage, ball in the middle with Port Adelaide. Farrell gave it to Sweet. Sweet kicks to full forward. Georgiades tried to edge out more, couldn't take it, then turned tackler. And he forces a stoppage inside 50 for Port Adelaide, 25 metres from goal as Jeremy Howe was set upon immediately. So Port Adelaide needing a goal now. They kicked the first, but Collingwood's kicked 4 in a row. At the back of the contest, Cameron gets a little dribbling kick clear for Collingwood, and it will go out of play as Crisp gets a hand to it. It's going to be tossed back in at left half forward for Port Adelaide. It's Collingwood 4-2, leading Port Adelaide 1-2 at the 23-minute mark.
Around the grounds, Heath.
Yeah, pretty similar scoreline. Dogs leading that one by 17 points, 5 minutes to go in the first quarter over North.
Now 55 around from Port's goal here. Big Sweet in the ruck, got dragged to the ground. And Big Sweet is going to get the free kick.
Time back on.
It'll be against Darcy Cameron. So he gets up at the footy. The big ruckman for Port Adelaide can send them deep towards the punt road end.
End zone.
He pulls the kick to about 20 out. Oh, Moore went up and went one hand and brought it to ground. Burn Jones tries to barge through. Diving on top of the footy down there for Port Adelaide was Berry, and the umpire calls for another ball up. Triple M Reds then letting stats. Some of the big numbers you can see at the moment.
Well, Port Adelaide last 3 entries of the game. Dan Houston, no nerves. Number 1 ranked player on the ground, 8 touches, 4 intercepts.
Collingwood's defence under pressure as Chris brings it free from the clearance. It's a long to side bottom. His kick out of defence turned over. Bergman comes into mark. He's 70 from goal at left half forward. Looks to the corridor. Can't see anything that he wants to bite off there. Might be the long kick inside 50. It's a cluttered forward line for Port Adelaide. Georgiades flies, but Sweet got hands to it in front. Couldn't take the mark. And holding the ball. Goodness me, that is a very hot call. Collingwood player took possession of the ball. 2 power players leapt on top of him. It's Maynard at the bottom of the pack. And the umpire has found a holding the ball decision, which, to be honest, I find quite extraordinary. So Sweet is going to have a shot for goal from 25 metres out directly in front.
It was against Dan Houston, wasn't it? He took half a step and tried to give the handball, and then he was set upon.
No way.
Oh my, red hot in front of goal.
That's a shocker.
Well, this for the first goal since the opening minute for Port Adelaide. Sweets comes in and puts it through. And that will not make Collingwood fans happy at all when they see the replay. So 4-2-26 Collingwood, 2-2-14 Port Adelaide, and we've been going at 24 minutes, and that is all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Oh, they were starting to get control the last few minutes, weren't they, Port? Get a few inside 50s, keep it down their end, and sometimes this is what can happen. When you build the pressure, you might be able to, get a free kick, put some pressure on the opposition. Maybe they're saying that these little sort of underhand feign is class as prior, but that's red hot.
Yeah, I think the umpire took the fact that it was a fumble that almost looked like the feign. It wasn't overly clear in the fact that he took possession. But on the slow motion replay, you could see what the umpire was thinking, but it was incorrect. And they need to sort that out ASAP, Al.
Numbers for Dan Houston, please, Heath. Triple M Reds Lending stats.
Well, 8 touches, 5 intercepts now with that 1 free against Port Adelaide. Last 4 entries of the game, 100% by foot in that period of time.
Reds Lending, loans for the self-employed, redzed.com. Great Ethan Meldrum here tonight. The bounce is recalled. The umpire throws it up in the air. Sweet slaps to the side. Back to within 12 points they are now. There's Sullivan back on the ground for Collingwood. Kicks inside forward 50. It's punched out to McCreary. His kick is smothered by Evans. That was brilliant. The ball heads to the boundary line as McCreary wanted a long shot for goal. And it's out of bounds in front of the members. About 60 around from the Pies goal.
Short in, Darcy. Boundary umpire trots around to collect it. As the ruckman set themselves. Sweet and Cameron both wearing the big shin guards on the right leg. And they are side by side as they await the throw in. Crisp and Nick Dacos for Collingwood waiting underneath, but it falls to Boakers. Immediately tackled. Sullivan gets him and holding the ball. Not enough effort being made to dispose of it. Sullivan showing his ribs are okay as he gives it to Houston, who dumps it in long towards full forward. Lockie Jones dropped to Sitter. Membry gets a hand pass. Lipinski, left foot snap. He's got it. He snapped it like Daisy on the 17th of Rosebud when he got hold of his putter today. Superb finish. Nice clean break. 4-2-26 becomes 5-2-32. 2-2-14 Port Adelaide. We're at the 27-minute mark. Daisy's looking for a new putter. And on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard, a quick reply for Collingwood.
Beautiful finish. Yeah, it was poor from Lockie Jones.
I was talking about my putting performance. Lockie Jones, yeah, horrible effort.
Yeah, he needed to take that mark. It was uncontested in the end, and it slipped straight through the hands. You can't afford to do that 25 metres out from your own goal. Lipinski, too much class.
And that's why sometimes we see players go the double fist. If you're not quite sure and you don't want to back yourself in and you go, it looks easy, that is the percentage play if you are slightly concerned in your own ability to clunk it, because if you do drop it, that's the result.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. The Pies back out to an 18-point lead. 3 minutes left to play in the first term. The bounce is good. The midfielders pile on top of the footy, and the umpire calls for another ball up. They flood in off the square. Up it goes. Big Sweet slaps it backwards. Schultz first there, got in front of Wines. Worked off it by Wines, allows Farrell in, but he runs into 3 tacklers. Side bottom one of those. They bring him to ground. Schultz as well. And the umpire's awarded the free kick, and it's going to go to side bottom.
Their pressure's been enormous, Collingwood. Their tackle pressure. Been able to give them great opportunities.
Yeah, Reds Lending stats, 206 their pressure factor. It was 162 last week, so massive improvement from them.
Steel side bottom Heath, one of the oldest people in Melbourne. How many possessions first?
Almost as old as you, Baz. 7 disposals for him.
Okay, long ball, and that's tough. Over the back goes to Boak. Boak's hand pass smothered. There's Billy Elliott. Oh, don't tell me! From the goal line! Between the goal and point post, he didn't even look. How do you squeeze that in? Try that 100 times and you'll get it once. An amazing goal from Elliott, and the Pies get a real good answer. 6-2-38, Port Adelaide 2-2-14. And Billy just sort of shows his worth again. That was magnificent.
Yeah, speak for yourself on those percentages there, Baz, but this was a mighty fine finish. A poor turnover again. Lockie Jones, again, won't like that one. A handball receive he got, and he just spilled it cold. And Elliott, you know you don't have to give him much time or space, but that is absolute class off the deck. That is very, very nice.
You can't do that.
That is as good as it gets. Harvey Norman replay.
Jeez.
Hardly any daylight there from that angle.
And he was good enough to flick it so it sort of came off the instep as a drop punt, went a little bit left to right.
They're just having a score review, Daisy. There
There's a murmur.
No. Oh, no.
A little snicker.
No.
Decision on the scoreboard.
Oh, no.
Gee, Lockie Jones, who was just starting to try and find a hold of it.
Take your time.
Bury himself in after a couple of real clangers.
Yes.
He's just dodged a little bullet there.
Well, as I predicted, you can't do that, and he didn't. Surprise. Well done, mate.
The odds forever be in your favour, Barry.
Daisy and Joey, but this does look a bit like a team that played last week in the AFL and a team that didn't.
The team that played an intra-club last week, it looks like. They played against themselves, and they may be still in that gear at the moment, Port Adelaide.
Finlayson thumps it back into play to the outer side wing. More double fists it back Collingwood's way. Goes out of play between wing and half forward. for Collingwood.
A replica of last night to some extent.
Darcy, Jordan.
Just the pressure and intensity. Just how slick one side is that has played a game compared to the other that hasn't, and probably rightfully so.
Toss back in, Sweets. Cameron grapple. Picked up by Crisp, a hand pass forward to Hill, who gives back to Crisp. He's 55 out, a squaring kick. Boak in the hole though, intercepts for Port Adelaide, 30 out from the goals he's defending.
So Boak looks one way then the other, heads out to the Shane Warne stand side of the ground. Darcy Cameron, brilliant. Went a long way to spoil, punts it down to Crisp, kick into the pocket. Membry! Boak makes a late spoil, goes onto a ground level, he's on his knees, punts it out to Alia. They're under pressure, got it back towards Farrell, then Finlayson. Happy to see it through for a rush point. Oh, they were under the pump, Port Adelaide. The Pies, 5-4-34, Port Adelaide 2-2-14. 2 minutes left to play first term. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Farrell in short to the left back pocket to Finlayson, who did not time the kick, and that allows Houston to go up, but he dropped the mark. It spills to Perryman, off to McInnes. McInnes, a high up and under, back inside 50 for the Pies. Alia floats back, punches it down. Rove by Finlayson, up the chimney, he kicks it. They wait underneath it, long in front. Horn Francis there as well. It spills to Mychek, who almost handed it on a platter to Hill, and Hill takes it over the boundary line. It'll be tossed back in 35 metres from the Collingwood goal, left forward pocket.
Just not really handling the pressure of the Port Adelaide defenders at the moment. Uncharacteristic mistakes, little sloppy things. That high kick from Finlayson, a couple of missed handballs, a couple of missed marks.
Top quality back row tonight. Daisy Thomas, Joey Montagna. Saturday night at the Triple MCG, and the Pies are turning it on at the moment. Port have it in the back pocket. Horn Francis.
How many for Horn Francis, Ethan?
Jason Horn Francis, Red Z lending stats, just the 5 touches so far.
What about Dacos?
Nick Dacos,
in terms of ranking,
5 disposals, lowest ranked player on the ground.
Oh, Rosie got the kick to him. He was put under the pump, grabbed by Elliott. Hand pass off to Long. He fires from 31 step, misses. Just to the right for the Pies, 5-5-35, plays 2-2-14.
Yeah, Nick Dacos, 5 touches, but 2 clanger kicks amongst those 5, so lowest ranked player on the ground, Red Z lending stats.
And for Choice Hotels, around the grounds, Heath?
Yeah, quarter time over at Marble Stadium. Not sure Two-Man's turning the spar on at the moment. 33 points to 10. Dogs lead that one.
You're calling that one, Heath? Is it over?
You know what? I may as well. Okay.
Finlayson out of defence for Port Adelaide. No mark taken, spills to Josh Dacos. Gave to Perryman by hand. Off a step, he kicks it inside 50. McStay's got separation. Finlayson a good spoil. Sullivan waits underneath it. Knocked off at Wines. At centre half back. A hand pass to Sweet. A hand pass to Farrell. Beautiful vision. Kicks out in front of Darcy Byrne-Jones, who's playing his 200th. Runs to 50. His kick, not the greatest contact. Bounces obligingly for Rioli, who dribbles it home for a Port Adelaide goal from 20 out. Port Adelaide gets its third. The margin back to 15 points. Through 33 minutes, 5-5-35 the Pies, the power 3-2-20, and the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
They've been trying to stretch the ground here, and we get a good look at it on the Harvey Norman. Willie Rioli's been the longest for about 5 minutes now, and as soon as that ball came in the corridor, he did a great job of stretching the field. He took off head down towards the goal square, which allowed that big pocket of space for Perm Jones to work into, and, well, it worked out all right in the end.
Very good days. I wrote down the same notes this whole quarter. It's been a bit of cat and mouse with Willie Rioli and Jeremy Howe, McInnes. They want to press up as a defence. Rioli's staying about 20 metres out the back. Hasn't quite worked. It has looked threatening a couple of times, but on that occasion, he was able to slip goal side.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Just seconds remaining now in this first term. Side, bottom of the pack. Darcy Cameron bottom as well, and he got high contact, gets a free kick. Collingwood can go forward. Hand pass to Sullivan. Got an early hard knock in this game, but he's back on his feet. Kicks it out very, very wide. Chasing it to the boundary was Boak for Port Adelaide. Wins it. Hand pass comes back to Jones. Tackled, lost it. It's punched up towards Dacos, Josh Dacos. Hand pass over the top to Long. He's 40 out. Toe pokes off the ground. There a chance here. Picked up McStay. He's got it. 15 out across the body. And the Pies get a very, very late one in the first term. That hurts. Collingwood 6-5-41. Port Adelaide 3-2-20. The Pies back out to a 21-point lead.
Gee, they look disorganised in their back 50, Port Adelaide, don't they, in this first quarter?
Shock.
They just
worried,
panicky,
fumbly,
like
suboptimal.
All those things.
That's all I've got.
Just been pretty average. And Collingwood have made the pay. 11 shots at goal in this first quarter from how many entries?
21 entries from them. Dan McStay as well, blanketed by Sam Taylor last week. 7 touches, scoreless. Already good start from him. 6 disposals, 1 goal, 1 on
21 entries. They're on track for 84.
which would be a record.
Good sums. Quick math.
Hot night at the MCG, and this first quarter has gone for 35 and a half minutes. And Collingwood leads by 21, 6-5-41 to Port Adelaide, 3-2-20 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter, the Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
the new AFL Happy Meal is here with 18 unique bag clips to collect. Available 10:30am to midnight while stocks last for a limited time only.
Here we go! It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go. Now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Go!
Here we go! It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Bunnings Trade. Load up on landscaping at Bunnings Trade.
Quarter time at the MCG. The Magpies are up by 21 points. 6-5-41 to Port Adelaide. 3 goals, 220. Tim Membry, 3 goals for the Pies, his new club in that first term. Alistair Nicholson's calling the action. Oh boy, he is superb. Dale Thomas is here with Jay Montagna, Alex Bryant downstairs, and this man, Triple M Red Z leading stats, the great Ethan Meldrum. Heath, what do the numbers tell you?
Eat or Heath. You can add that one to the list.
I'm always hungry.
So it tells me where your head's at, Baz.
Yes,
Collingwood's biggest first quarter since they played your mob, Baz. May as well rub it in if you're going to get my name wrong. 8-1-49, round 24, 2023. They kicked 6-5-41 here today. Guys to my left and right have been talking about the errors in Port Adelaide's backline. Already 22 points for Collingwood from forward half turnover. That's more than they kicked against the Giants last week. Leading players on the ground. Dan Houston, 10 touches against his old side. Lipinski with the 8 for Port Adelaide. Kane Farrell has the 10. That's where the ball's been down back. Travis Boak, 8 touches as well.
Alex, for Bob Jane T-Marts, a couple of heavy hits in that first term.
Yeah, there sure were, sorry. Lockie Sullivan came off. He got his back assessed but was quickly back on. And guys, Nick Dacos cramp watch. He ended the first quarter on the bench. He was getting his left quad assessed. No injury concerns for Port Adelaide. Their sub tonight, Ryan Burton. Of course, it's Scott Pendlebury for the Pies.
Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumo and Pirelli. Visit bobjane.com.au today. T's and C's apply.
All about the Pies' pressure really in that first term and what they were able to do on the back of it. Maximum heat on the contest, which they weren't able to do last week. Their lowest result in the Craig McRae era, Ethan tells us, and on the back of that tonight, they've got some good looks up forward. And remember, he's so smart. He just gets to dangerous spots. No wonder he's been on the end of them and getting some shots. That pressure rating, AFL average about 180?
About 180, 194 for the Pies. Win about 70% of the games when you lead that stat. That's what Collingwood are doing tonight.
They're dominating all facets. Contested possession, clearance is massive, plus 11, which is giving them the territory, which is putting Port Adelaide defenders under all sorts of pressure. They've had a lot of opportunities and Port Adelaide's defence haven't been able to handle it. The midfield for Port Adelaide haven't stood up and their forwards just haven't had enough opportunity. So at the moment, Collingwood in complete control of this game.
Big first term for the Magpies as they split up. Port Adelaide still in their huddle across the city, Heath. At Marvel Stadium where Western Bulldogs are taking on North Melbourne. Let's get an update.
Yeah, Choice Hotels around the grounds. 22 points to lead for the Western Bulldogs. 5-3-33 to North Melbourne. 1-5-11. All single goal scorers in that game for the Dogs. Dale, Norton, Vandermeer, Sam Darcy, Ed Richards. Bailey Dale, 12 touches. Ed Richards, 12 touches as well with their goals, the most for the Dogs.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Don't forget Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Anything Kenny Hinkley would be thinking down there at the moment? Any sort of little move, little shift you could make at quarter time?
I think there'll be a decent clip going to the midfield, just about rolling the sleeves up and getting it done. A little bit more intensity, a little bit more effort. Willem Drew's done a pretty handy job so far on Nick Dacos, but then it's fallen to the responsibility of the other midfielders in there in Horn Francis and Connor Rosie, and they haven't been good enough. That ball's coming out. On the back of that happening, the Pies are getting some really good territory, and as Joey said, the Port defence at the moment, they just cannot handle it. Those repeat entries, they're rushed, they can't handle the pace of the game, and they're making some pretty basic errors. Again though, as we've seen throughout this round 1 of footy, 21 points isn't a great deal of a margin out.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy as we get ready to start the second quarter. Port Adelaide will be kicking to the city end, Collingwood to the punt road end in the second term. Long's in there alongside Horn Francis. Nick Dacos with Willem Drew keeping a close eye on him. Umpire lays it down. Sweet goes after it. Beaten to it by Nick Dacos. He couldn't take possession. Rosie could for Port Adelaide. Gives to Horn Francis. Runs to the front of the square and kicks to Rioli, who drops a sitter. An absolute sitter. Laces out in front. Now it's in dispute. Long tackled. Richards got a hold of him. It'll be thrown in the air 40 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal.
Gee, that's a let-off. It was straight on his chest, Daisy. If that was a watermelon.
He'd have pips all over himself, Joey.
Rioli hand passes out wide of the pack to Powell Pepper. He let it go for Boak, who ran to 40 and had a crack. And I reckon Travis got it. He has. Early goal for Port Adelaide. Travis Boak took responsibility and put it home. So 4 goals, 2 now. Port Adelaide, 6-5-41 the Pies, 4-2-26 Port Adelaide, early stages second term on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Well, there you go. They've won the first 2 clearances of the second quarter. Port Adelaide, centre bounce that should have resulted in a shot on goal if Rioli had have marked it, and then Rioli made up for the drop mark. He was the one that got first possession, flicked it out to Boak, who was just waiting on the wing. And really, Port Adelaide, they've scored 6 times from only 10 entries. So, as we keep saying, if they do get it in there, they've got enough versatility. They look dangerous. They just got to start winning their hands on the footy through the midfield.
372nd game for Boak tonight. Joins Adam Goods in equal 12th on the all-time games tally. Boak, who had his issues in front of goal last year, kicked 5-17. That was a superb finish for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M rocks footy out of the middle, goes Horn Francis for Port Adelaide. Ball rumbles up towards the left half forward flank. He gathers it again on his left boot, skids it inside 50. Good pick up, Georgiades. Good tackle, Moore. Ball dislodged. Picked up by Burgoyne. He's tackled top of the 50. A ball up left half forward for Port Adelaide already through the opening 2 minutes. Encouraging signs in the second quarter for Port.
Yeah, it's a good start for the Horny one.
It is. Does that make Travis Boak equal with Russell Ebert as well?
Oh, I think there was a stat if you include pre-season games, it might. Let me double check that.
Ball thrown in the air. Darcy Cameron just shepherded Sweet away and kicked it off the ground.
I saw it on the telly.
Oh, right. The ball
hard to miss. It covered 3/4 of the stretch.
Out of bounds.
So we're good friends at Harvey Norman.
Dan Connor. Nick Dacos has got a free kick at half back. He goes with a low drop punt. And finds Long, who kicks across his body for Collingwood, bounces towards half forward. Bobby Hill comes out over Ranit Boak. At half back now tries to hold them up. Farrell cleans up for him his teammate. Little hand pass back to Elia. And a long high kick back here to a one-on-one on the broadcast wing.
Winning the battle on the ground was Lukosius. Defensive hand pass to Boak, put him in a bind, and McInnes nailed him holding the ball. Play onto advantage. Maynard and Chris combined with a hand pass. Kick goes inside the 50, and it's turned over. Farrell marks in the right back pocket for the Power. He chips to defensive 50. Lukosius, who kicked the opening goal of the game. Port went for another 23 minutes without another goal as Collingwood kicked the next 4. That's turned over terribly to the members' wing, and Howe intercepts for the prize.
That was just lazy from Lukosius. He had Powell Pepper in a ton of space. He was just a bit too casual on the kick. Turnover.
Howe to Crisp. He set him up. Port got in front. He had hands on the footy. Collingwood free kick. He was pushed as he left the side of the pack, and Crisp has got the free kick. So he's about 65 metres from the punt road end. The Magpies at the moment holding the lead by 15 points. As Crisp drops it on his left boot. Kick the full forward. Mychek, a big leap back of the pack and spills to Nick Dacos. Kick across his body from 20. He's hooked it too much. Sneaks through for a behind. A little bit of a push and shove happening here. Bobby Hill and Finlayson have a crack. 6-6-42. 20 points up to 16 points up. Collingwood, Port Adelaide 4-2-26. Running straight scoreboard.
Farrell down the corridor finds Sin. Still inside defensive 50 at the punt road end. He plays on, takes 5 or 6 metres, thumps it out towards the southern wing. More playing in front of Georgiades. Couldn't mark. Rove by Houston of Collingwood. A hand pass away to Lipinski from the edge of the boundary line on the wing. He uses it neatly to McCreary. McCreary 2 long kicks from goal. He plays on. He skids it terribly. Nick Dacos couldn't take it on the half volley. Picked up by Sin. A hand pass away to Richards, who dishes it off to Finlayson. He kicks to centre half back and Sweet for Port.
Big Sweet plays on, big long hand pass, good 20-metre hand pass off towards Rosie. And he kicks long towards Rioli, tries to shove Howe out of the way. Howe too strong, held his position at the front, and a double fist towards Darcy Moore. Rioli goes again, tries to work him off, and it does, did well. Hand pass inboard, Lukosius dragged to the ground by Houston. And the umpire will ball it up, left forward pocket still for Port Adelaide, who press again.
Darcy Jordan.
A 16-point lead to Collingwood. 5 minutes played of the second quarter. Sweet taps towards the boundary line. Cameron got a hold of it. His hand pass for Collingwood along the ground towards Josh Dacos on defensive 50. Hand pass Lipinski. A Borky gets around Richards. A Borky gets around Sin as well. He kicks towards the wing. Membry up in front. Got an arm over the shoulder from Finlayson. He'll have it on the edge of the centre square. Defensive side of the Shane Warne stand wing.
Good start for Timmy Membry with his new club. 3 goals in the first term. Presents again this time. He sprints to the outer side wing and wins the one-on-one marking contest with Finlayson. It's out very wide, close to the boundary line. Lipinski wanders back with a footy. True wing in front of the Shane Warne stand. The Magpies by 16 points. Low drop punt into the arms of the Rolls Royce, Nick Dacos. He stands flat-footed as well. Maynard leads a little squaring one inboard, ignores that, indicates he wants to go longer, and drops it just inside forward 50. Elliott from behind! 48 out marks for Collingwood slide angle.
Connor, 10 metres.
Always in the game, Billy Elliott. He sort of had a look sideways and then indicated, I might just have a crack from here.
I reckon on the Harvey Norman replay, he didn't actually elevate over anyone. That was just straight up good hops. Didn't have a body to launch at, but still good enough to elevate and take the clunk.
One of the best
Thanks, mate. No closer.
set shots in the game. From 52, stretches himself and he's got it home. Kept it low, half post high, and did the job. The Magpies go to 7-6-48. Port Adelaide 4-2-26. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Load up on landscaping at Bunnings Trade.
Well, he just reacted to the kick much better than his opponent, Aliir. Nick Dacos wanted to pull it into the corridor as a natural forward. Elliott saw it, read the cues, and ran to the contest and left Aliir in his wake, who just got caught ball watching momentarily, and that was the difference.
It is a really risky kick in terms of if you turn that over, that is a short pitch that you have to defend it on, and more often than not it probably results in a score the other way. But a smart play, considering that Aliir is a drop-off defender. He'll always be line of ball to line of goal. So to pull that kick to a more dangerous spot, and that reaction time from Jamie Elliott, pretty smart in the end.
So McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. That's the biggest lead of the game, 22 points. Sweet the tap down for Port Adelaide. Socket forward by Rosie. Collected by Berry of Port. He gives to Wines. Wines a floating kick to the edge of 50. Rioli there, one-on-one. Ball hits the deck, rumbles towards the boundary line. It'll be thrown back in 40 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal, down at the city end of the ground.
Darcy. Jordan.
Around the grounds, Heath, what's happening at Marvel?
Yeah, last couple of goals to North Melbourne in this quarter, so 15 points they trail by against the Western Bulldogs.
Boundary throw in. As Al said, 48 metres around from Port Adelaide's goal. It goes to the back of the pack. On top of it was Burn-Jones. Shoveled it out to Burgoyne. Hand pass through. Can they find a bit of space here? Try to get it back to Burn-Jones. Big Darcy Cameron got in the way. Threw it onto his boot. Back out here to the wing to McStay. Hands and knees. Shuffled it out towards Schultz. Let it go for Crisp. Crisp can't quite pick it up. The ball spills to the side. Heads to the boundary. McCreary there with two opponents. Wines one of those. Hand pass off towards Mead. Tried to spin out of trouble. Got caught and he's gone. Free kick to Collingwood in front of the members. And the Pies doing it nicely at the moment. 22 points up.
Stand, Jordan.
So Schultz with the free kick at left half back for Collingwood. And Mead got himself in all sorts of bother there. Schultz kicks it down the wing. McStay up, got separation. And he's got good hands. He marks in front of the interchange. Members side of the ground. Dan McStay. He returned late last year from the ACL injury. He kicks towards Elliott on the lead. It's over his head. It almost landed in the lap of Myercheck, who tackles Burgoyne, who threw it out. No free kick. Rosie's hand pass towards the boundary. Crisp gets it to Collingwood. Off to Nick Dacos. Off to Elliott. Hard on the boundary. Squaring kick. Side bottom can't mark. The late spoil came from Berry. Now he takes possession. Gives it off to Lockie Jones. His clearing kick towards the left half-back flank marked by Richards. Port Adelaide will come out.
And they're on the run. Hand pass over the top to Burgoyne. Burgoyne, a low drop punt to the wing. It's missed the target. Landed far too short. And Maynard ran onto it easily. Kicks it out to Bobby Hill. Picks it up 60 out from goal for the Pies. One way then the other. He's got Josh Dacos over the top. Nice hand pass. Dacos shrugs off Burgoyne. And the push on the kick, though, a little bit of pressure. He dropped it straight to Evans for Port Adelaide. They can squeeze themselves out of trouble here. Bergman's got it. Kick back out here outside defensive 50. Up goes the big man. And sweet marks in front of Crisp outside Port Adelaide's defensive 50.
Gee, it was a great kick from Bergman. Had to be pinpoint perfect.
As did that, Joey. Centre half back. Sweet finds Finlayson under serious pressure from Houston. Off to Rosie. His poor kick. Bergman's got to clean it up. He fends away from McCreary. Gave it back to Rosie. Hand pass knocked down by Sidebottom. Wines over it. Sidebottom over him. Does brilliantly. The Collingwood veteran to hold it in and force a stoppage next to the AFL logo. Collingwood 7-6 leading Port Adelaide 4-2. That is on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Ball thrown in the air. Big sweet up. Slaps it down. It's a scramble for the footy at ground level. Still in dispute. The umpire will ball it up again.
Red Z lending stats. Connor Rosé, just the 4 touches he had to quarter time, more than making up for it. Already 7 in the first 10 minutes this second term.
Treat for the whole country tonight. Ethan Meldrum in the house. Saturday night. It was a tap down to Rosé. An advantage paid free kick, and he'll go short towards Berry, who kicks out wide and finds Burn-Jones, who marks and spins away from Quainer. He's kicked those Mr. Targets straight into the arms of Maynard at halfback for the Pies, who finds Nick Dacos in the outer side wing.
Collingwood on the build, a lateral kick. Lipinski centering outer side, a hand pass to Dacos, to Quaynor, who's wandered up. Back to Nick Dacos, 65 out. He kicks towards McStay, got a couple to beat and he can't. Alier stands his ground in front. His kick out led him towards the back 50. Crisp dives in and spoils away from Sweet. McCreary knocked it towards Perryman. Perryman's hand pass, side bottom top of the 50. Hand pass hits the ground. Schultz under pressure, almost legged. Hands and knees, hand pass. Elliott slipped to side bottom. One play, Collingwood. Outstanding goal, left foot snap from 20 out. They look right on the Pies. The margin out to 28 points, 8-6-54. Port Adelaide 4-2-26, 12-minute mark of the second quarter. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Yeah, they are, but Port Adelaide are certainly inviting them to get after them with some of their disposals coming out of the back half. They've been really sloppy, missing kicks, trying to force kicks that aren't on, and Collingwood are now just sweating on it. They know it's coming, they're pressing up, they're getting opportunities, and they're able to capitalise on that opportunity.
The issue of the last two clearing kicks from D50 were that they were going to ruckman. So on both occasions it was headed towards Sweet. He was good enough to mark one of them, but then he turned it over going inside the 45, and they once again tried to plug it to him. Well done for Jack Crisp, who was super alert, super vigilant. As a result of that, Pies get a goal.
Red Z Lending stats, turnovers in the back half. Collingwood just a 7, Port Adelaide 17 already.
Ooh, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Built tough frozen conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. And from the bounce, the Pies are going to come away from the centre again. Houston has got it behind the middle. Goes one way, then the other. This time he's coughed it up with a kick, kicked it straight to Burgoyne, who marks on the outer side wing for Port Adelaide. Hand pass to the running Rosie. Short one to Horn Francis over the top. He finds a man who's led to about 40 metres out for goal in Burn Jones. And in game 200, he can go back and have a set shot directly in front.
I'm not sure if this Rioli plan is working, because as a Port player you need to either trust that it is, or every time you get it from the better part of 50 to 70 out, your first thought should be looking long and that back space, but they haven't been doing that. So he is doing an okay job of stretching the field and allowing pockets of space to hit up into.
28 points the margin Collingwood's way at the moment. Burn Jones can bring it back to 22. Midway through the second term, drop punt, set sail. As he squeezed it in, no, he's put it too far left. 4-3-27 plays, 8-6-54. That's all on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Said throughout the week that his favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie was The Terminator.
Yes. Yes.
15, play on. Short kick to Howe in the back pocket. He's told to play on, didn't go 15, turned it over. And Rosie marks. It's when wing and half forward members side. He kicks infield to the centre square and Boak. Boak laterally as well to the bullseye. Finlayson, thumping kick. And he goes short back to Boak. Just shy of centre half forward for Port Adelaide. He's still 2 kicks from goal. He sends it in towards the hot spot. Out they come. More the spoil. Horn Francis goes after it at the top of the 50. Defensive hand pass, no good. Hits the ground. Picked up by Evans of Port Adelaide. Horn Francis held when not in possession. He'll get the free kick for the power. 65 from goal at left half forward.
Numbers for Horn Francis, please, Heath.
Jason Horn Francis, 11 touches. This will be number 12, 6 already in this quarter.
Working his way into the game is Horn Francis. Didn't go long, went very, very short. And found Berry, who's just outside forward 50. Got a lead just inside, and that's Wines. Ollie Wines, happy to mark and go back.
5 more metres.
And have a set shot from a 45-degree angle in front of the Shane Warne stand.
A triangle.
Not sure from here.
Stand. Yeah, straight up and down.
He's going back a long way with some confidence, Joey. Ethan, thoughts?
No, I don't think you'll get the journey. I think you'll pop this up.
Yes, he's hand passed it off towards Bergman, who goes long towards goal. It's going to land short, and off hands it goes out of bounds. Deep right forward pocket for Port Adelaide, who are searching. 27 points down at the moment. 15 and a half minutes second term.
Port Adelaide run.
Power deep in attack. Umpire searching for a Port Adelaide ruckman. Can't find one, so that means Collingwood ruckman will go up and stay uncontested. He punches it towards the boundary, but straight to Boak, who gave it, Rosie rather, gave it to Wines. Wines into the pocket. Off hands, it's taken by Schultz, and he's rumbled over by Richards.
Around the grounds, Heath, what's happening at Marvel?
Yeah, another goal to North Melbourne, so they trail by just 10 points. Dogs 6-4-40, North Melbourne 4-6-30.
As soon as Ethan called it, North Melbourne have kicked the last three.
I'm backing him in.
I've got form in that regard as well.
I've never heard him get one wrong, ever.
I'm 0 from 1, Baz, when I've called it.
Mead
sample size
for Red Legend, that's 0%.
Yes, it is.
Thanks, Daz.
It is. I'm backing him in tonight. Boundary throw went straight back out of bounds, so 49 metres still around from Port Adelaide's goal. And they trail by 27 points now, ticking up to 17 minutes in this second term at the beautiful MCG. And the boundary throw-in sees Horn Francis overrun it. The ball bounced Rioli's way. Just squares a kick up to the hot spot. Powell Pepper ran onto it. Shrugs off a couple. Hand pass to Evans. Little short ball to Wines. Can he mark? No. Crisp. Good spoil. Down to ground level. Someone's got Polax. Polax. Powell Pepper was. Side bottom. Hand pass into the centre for the Pies. There goes Bobby Hill. Skips around one. Takes a bounce, does Bobby. Kick to the pocket is brilliant. Oh, brilliant to Membry, who marks boundary side 35 out. Nice transition from the Pies.
I want to see two replays. First, Powell Pepper with the spear tackle, and secondly, that drop punt check side, if you will, from Bobby Hill.
That was intentional. It was 100% a pass.
Yeah, just the ability for him just to drop it in a manner that it was always going to start right and then finish left. That is highly skilled.
Membry from the boundary across the body. He's hooked it too far. He's kicked 3 in the first term. And that's a point. So it's a 28-point lead to Collingwood. 8-7 plays 4-3. Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
We're having a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay days. The spear.
He was coming through with some serious momentum, and whatever and whoever from either side was in the way was going to get it.
Yes.
And they did.
Go Harvey Norman, up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo computers in-store and online now. Harvey Norman, best range, best brands, best prices guaranteed. Port Adelaide around the wing. Ball disrupted though by Houston. Gives to McStay, a hand pass to McCreary. Forward hand pass now to Long. Long gets through traffic almost, clinging onto his jumper. Making the tackle was Ollie Wines. Collingwood still in possession. Houston top of the 50, hand pass McStay, hits the ground, he spins, he measures his kick. It's punched away by Evans. The intended target was Schultz. Crisp gets it top of the 50, little chip inside the 50, and Sullivan takes the mark. He's about 45 metres out. He's on a bit worse than a 45-degree angle in front of the Olympic stand. He'll be kicking to the punt road end.
Feels like there's a lot of space out there tonight, Daisy, doesn't it? It's real sort of open footy, bit of ping pong. Port are trying to take the game on, but they keep turning the ball over. And then when they do, Collingwood just seem to have players out everywhere.
It's where they're turning it over.
Yeah, back half.
Yeah, back half, the fattest part of the ground. That's why there's space.
Well, he really had to fight for his AFL opportunity. A couple of best and fairest with Footscray in the VFL. He hasn't timed the kick well. It's to the top of the square to the pack. Rove by Bergman, tackled by Membry, and a ball up top of the goal square. Port in attack and trailing by 28 points.
Jordan, Dan.
The ball thrown in the air. As Big Sweet tries to grab it out of the ruck.
High contact, Port Adelaide.
High contact for Port Adelaide, so Wines to take it. Stands just outside the defensive 10-yard square, punt road end.
Only had 16 inside 50s, is that right, Ethan? Port Adelaide for the game.
Yeah, Collingwood with the 30. Port Adelaide, top 2 team for forward half for the last couple of years.
Playing in their back half, with only 5 minutes to go before half time.
Burgoyne, hand pass to Sweet on defensive 50 for Port. Then a hand pass to Lukosius, who goes with a long ball after being tackled towards half forward. It rolls out of bounds. Oh, the umpire! What a deliberate. I reckon it did a leg break.
All day, Baz. It was clear. It was clear. It was intentional. The right call.
Right, thank you, Days. So, just clearing things up there, Days. Triple M Seabus Super special comments, of course, Days and Joey. Seabus Super making hard work pay off since 1984, Al. That's when I joined Seabus.
Yeah, 84. Absolutely.
I'm sure you've seen the Harvey Norman replay up there, Al, but Luke Beveridge, I'm not sure what sort of fan or air conditioning he's got. He hasn't gone to Harvey Norman to get one because he is sweating bullets. He's got big from coaching at the minute.
We'll need Heath to give us a score in just a moment. Let's stay with the play for Port Adelaide as Evans runs onto it. Myercheck tackles in 45 metres from goal. Heath around the grounds.
Yeah, I need to keep calling it because the other team always just goes on an absolute tear when I do. Western Bulldogs only 4 points in front of North Melbourne. Kicked the last 4 goals of the game. I think 4-0 in this quarter, so pretty close to that over at Marble Stadium.
Long bananas in the stoppage. He gets it towards the top of the goal square. Lockie Jones under pressure and got a high tackle. Play onto advantage. Yes, it will be paid to Port Adelaide as Horn Francis brings it clear to the outer side of the ground. Houston got a little hand in the back from Lukosius, who marks, but it was a deft hand and not a push, said the ump.
Bob Jane T-Marts, Alex.
Yeah, 31 degrees down here. Port Adelaide has just brought out the misting fan. Too far away from me, though.
Yes. Nice and cool up here, Alex, just so you know. Aircon on and we're all comfortable. So, Quainer has to give the ball back to Richards, who got a free kick for Port Adelaide in the centre. So the former Magpie for Port Adelaide will go long inside forward 50. How will fly? No, he changed his mind. The ball went to ground level. Crisp at the back receives the hand pass and turns around, puts it on his left, gains territory by about 30 metres with a kick, and the ball went out of bounds in front of the members' boundary throw in halfway between half, back and wing for the Pies.
Ticked over 22 played in the second quarter. Collingwood led by 21 points at quarter time. The margin now is 28 in favour of the Pies. This will be a much shorter quarter than the first term, which went for 35.5 minutes. Sweet taps it down, side bottom cruises past, fends away from Drew. Hand pass to Crisp, who had a fumble at left half back. It goes out of play and will be tossed back in again. The same position as it was moments ago in front of the members' stand. So Collingwood in this quarter with 2 goals 2. Port Adelaide with 1 goal 1. Thrown back into play, a shallow throw in. Sweet comes to the front, it gets past both ruckmen. Attempted soccer by Long of Collingwood, no good, but he gets a hand pass to side bottom under pressure. He's tackled. Got a hand pass, McCreary. He's nailed by Sin. Ball spills free. Socket forward by Wines. Got past Horn Francis, top of the 50. Little fumble there from Cameron. It's a slippery ball. Rioli makes it look like it's dry, and his hand pass, though, no good for Powpepper. Out of play, 45 metres from the Port Adelaide goal down at the city end of the ground, Baz.
It is, and Port Adelaide searching, and they should. 28 points the lead for Collingwood at the moment. And 24 minutes ticking up to in this second term. On the Bunnings trade scoreboard, boundary throw in. Punch down it again, the Magpies in that back half, beautiful, Crisp. Found space and then delivered a nice long hard ball to the wing here. But it's Finlayson who worked off his opponent in McStain, a one-on-one, and marked. Just worked him underneath the footies. Chips it inboard towards Aaliyah. And Aaliyah has got player in the centre of the ground who stands alone, and that be Richards for Port Adelaide. Goes short again to Berry. And Berry is right in the centre of the MCG. He couldn't be more in the centre. And he goes long to full forward. Darcy Moore, brilliant. Worked Rioli underneath the foot. He took a comfortable mark. Hand pass to Lipinski. Another hand pass to the running Quainer. And now a long kick to a vacant outer side wing.
And out goes Nick Dacos with Farrell right on his hammer. He did well to hold the mark. He's held up, but he gets a hand pass whilst on his backside. And he farms it up. Kick forward from Houston. Membry takes the mark. 65 from goal. He goes to the forward pocket. Over the back, Elliott. The pack went forward, Elliott went back, stretched and marked. Hard on the boundary, 35 metres from goal, right forward pocket. He's already kicked 1.
That entire passage of play opened up from the decision of Quaynor off half-back. A really good lead from Schultz, who got small on the ball, he let up, but as soon as he realised that, he turned, dropped the shoulder, and he had the outer side of that Shane Warne stand wing all to work into. Nick Dacos came across, he worked into it as well, and then just kept some speed on the ball, resulting in the shot on goal.
1 goal 1 for Elliott's as he comes in. Right foot drop punt. He is a master at work. His finishing skills superb. And Collingwood extends the lead further. It's 34 points, 9-7-61 to Port Adelaide 4-3-27. We've been going 25 minutes in this second quarter on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
He's a beautiful finisher, Jamie Elliott. Again, that's that matchup with Aliir. I wonder if he's trying to be a little bit of a defensive matchup because he is smart. He knows how to a natural forward, but he can compete as well. And that's a couple of times he's beaten Aliir in one-on-one contests. And it's just through weight of numbers, 32 entries for Collingwood. And they are just getting good looks.
Yeah, Nick Dacos, Red Z lending stats, lowest ranked player on the ground in that first quarter. Now the highest ranked Pie in this second term with his 9 disposals, 5 inside 50s for the game. Other end of the stat sheet, Mitch Georgiades, 44 goals last year, just the 2 touches least on the ground.
Nice. Around the grounds, Heath, what's happening at Marvel?
Yeah, never in doubt. Western Bulldogs, last couple of goals, they lead by 17 points over North Melbourne.
Ethan called that when the sides were selected on Thursday night. The Bulldogs will win. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. We're closing out the first half of this one, and the Magpies comfortable at the moment over Port. Bounces good, big sweet in the ruck, taps it down towards Horn Frost. It's immediately wrapped up. Stands in the tackle, but nowhere to go. Collingwood's pressure good. There's a ball thrown in the air. Cameron again, hands on the footy, but straight to Drew this time. Got dragged off it, holding free kick will go his way against Steele side bottom.
Time back on, stand.
And Drew in the centre, hand pass off to Farrell. Penetrating, left foot, drop punt inside. Lukosius will fly. Had to go one hand in the end, was pushed into the pack. Houston tries to thump it away for the Pies. It bounces back his way. He lays a tackle, the ball underneath both players. And the umpire to ball it up again. This time about 35 out from Port Adelaide's goal.
80 seconds until the half-time break. Port Adelaide find one, they desperately need one. Houston roves it, hand pass out. Perryman over his shoulder, a hand pass to Quaynor from right half back, kicks Collingwood up the wing, it bounces. Bergman takes possession for Port Adelaide. Hand pass, a shocker, straight to Elliott. Elliott's got a paddock. He's had 2 bounces around the southern wing. He kicks it inside 50 and finds McCreary, who'll drop the sitter. He bashes it forward towards the top of the goal square, but it all breaks down. And it's cleared on the left boot by Sin expertly to the members' wing where Lukosius marks.
Hey, absolutely had it in the van. The Pies, a long kick from Lukosius to half forward for Port Adelaide. Darcy Moore hands on the footy, went back and picked it up and hand passed nicely to Houston, who kicked short to Maynard. Houston's numbers again, please, Heath.
17 touches, number 1 ranked player.
Oh, nice start for his new club, the Pies. Little short one to Maynard, a kick to the wing here. Up goes Membry, who's been terrific. A hand pass off to Darcy Cameron. The big ruckman let it go. Membry goes again. All this happening on the wing. Lukosius goes in and picks it up. Underground hand pass, set his teammate up for a tackle, and he's been pinged. That's Berry. And dropping the ball, free kick to the Pies, and Long will take it, trooping position, broadcast side of the ground.
Tackling pressure's been really good, and the tackles made, Heath. They only had the 39 last week in the entire game. What are they up to now?
Well, they're only 1 short of that, 38 as we near half-time. Port Adelaide just the 22.
And that will be half-time. Collingwood with 3 goals to 1 in that quarter. 9-7-61 the Pies, leading Port Adelaide 4-3-27. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Bunnings Trade. Load up on landscaping at Bunnings Trade.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong, long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go, now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go! It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today.
Collingwood led by 21 points at quarter time. They've extended that at half time to 34 points over Port Adelaide. They're 9-7, 61, 4-3, 27 Port Adelaide. Membry with 3 goals for the Pies and 2 to Jamie Elliott, and the rest all singles for Port Adelaide. We've got a huge box in here. Don't worry about that. Joey Montagna, Azzy Thomas, Alistair Nicholson. The
great one.
Thank you everyone. And of course, Ethan Meldrum with the Triple M Red Z lending stats. What do they tell you about this big Magpies lead, Ethan, at half-time?
Well, it's all that Port Adelaide ball use in their back half once again. 17 turnovers in their defensive half. Collingwood with just the 10. Looking at the pressure in the forward half as well. Collingwood just going at 167. Port Adelaide 191. So it's not like Collingwood are applying a heap more pressure. Port Adelaide are just burning it in their back half. Collingwood just dominating from their front half. 4 goals, 4 from forward half turnovers already in that first half. That's well more than they scored against the Giants last week. So they are making Port Adelaide pay where all of that's concerned. Leading players on the ground. Dan Houston, no surprise, he loves the MCG and also loves playing against his old side. Apparently 17 disposals in that first half. 7 of those came from intercept possessions. Pat Lipinski, 30 touches. He was here last time he played against Melbourne at the MCG, already up to 14. Nick Dacos, number 1 ranked Pie in that second quarter with 14 touches as well. Connor Rosey with the 16. Ollie Wines with the 15, the most for the pair.
Yeah, Port Adelaide, I mean, normally it's one of their strengths, their ball use and their ability to move the ball from their back half, but tonight, as Ethan just told us with the numbers, and it's been obvious watching, they've just missed far too many targets. They've been sloppy, poor options, poor execution coming out of their back half, and Collingwood have been able to make them pay. I think they've kicked 6 goals, 6 off turnover. Collingwood taken full advantage of it. They've had free players on the counter-attack everywhere. Port Adelaide, look, to me, if they do get it inside their forward 50, they do look lively. They just can't get it past halfway at the moment, and it's more to do with the decisions they're making and the kicks they're trying to go for and how big they're spreading the field. So when they do turn it over, they're finding it really hard to defend, and Collingwood are just having their way with them.
This is the halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Specsavers Audiology. We discover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today. Just perception, Joey, out there. Perception is real discipline tonight, Collingwood. I know it's tough losing that first round game. They lost in round 0, but just looking out at them tonight, there's not a lot of mucking about. There's not a lot of, let's all have a bit of fun. It's real discipline.
It's a great word, Baz, because as much as their pressure has been elite, and that's been a big difference, there's not been one sign that Collingwood looks slow tonight, has there? There's been nothing where we've gone, gee, the Pies look old and slow.
Yeah.
And that's because they're winning the ball and they're getting good looks, and it's just completely different, the perception of Collingwood, all because off the back of their effort and pressure and winning the contest and turning the ball over, they look as quick as any other side in the competition.
Yep.
Now, I've got to admit, coming in here tonight, lads, I was a little bit toey, a little bit anxious.
Yes.
What might happen, what might transpire. You boys don't miss. I've heard blokes thrown under the bus left, right and centre.
Yep.
Always listen to the Amy Clangers.
Yep.
And with great relief, I've been handed the piece of paper that suggests I have to introduce the Amy Clangers, which means it's not me, Baz, but I did not want to have a hand in this at all, mate. I wanted no piece of this. When Clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy. And you didn't take long to get cranking tonight, did you?
No, I didn't. This is the Triple M Footy Prime Time for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners Australia. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Air Conditioners Australia. Put your trust in the experts. Get stuff. Put your trust in the experts in air, and please, Eve.
Have you had enough? do you not want this broadcast to go ahead?
You're going to stop drinking port before you get on air,
excuse me.
The only one you'll get right all night is McDonald's. You can hang your hat on that.
A couple of throwdowns we're going to mention.
Oh, yeah, my word.
20 nuggets go around twice for that price.
That's embarrassing.
It wasn't lucky you're with Amy, it was lucky you're with Barry for me tonight.
That's it. No, seriously, I'm working with a professional, Joe, and he thinks I'm a block now.
It sounded like you were nervous.
Yes,
We have a rule,
was.
Baz. Don't turn one mistake into 2, 3, 4. It's that common that Barry gets the halftime Amy Clangers. I think it's written in his contract because it's that common.
Look, it might be time. No, it's not. I reckon I'm okay. 9-7-61 at Collingwood, 4-3-27. Port Adelaide. Just around the grounds again, please. The Choice Hotel. Heath, what's happening at Marvel?
Yeah, I'm not sure the words "get stuffed" are on the credit sheet there, Baz. Western Bulldogs 10 points, the leaders at half-time over North Melbourne. Pretty even spread of goal kickers. Tom Powell, 19 disposals. Matt Kennedy, first game for the Western Bulldogs, of course, straight from Carlton in the trade period, leading the way for them, I should say, with 17 touches, the most to half.
Hey, a nice win a little bit earlier. The Brisbane Lions over Sydney. Very impressive. 4 points. A hard-fought win. And Justin Edwards went down to the rooms and he had a chat to Josh Dunkley.
We're here with the man that's just been given 3 votes in the Triple MVP, Josh Dunkley. Josh, great win and close in that last quarter. Were you nervous there, or do you have the faith all the time?
No, I mean, we've played in so many close games as a team, and obviously the first game of the year for us, so it's always nice to practice the things that we've put to work throughout the pre-season, and I guess history shows that we can play well in those close games, so having a lot of confidence in those moments is really important.
And a kid who's just got a Gatorade shower, Levi Ashcroft. You've already got one Ashcroft who's dominating the competition. Having two's a bit, is it unfair?
No, I don't know if it's unfair, but they are great guys, obviously both on and off the field. What they bring on the field everyone sees, but off the field, the people that they are, the family that they bring along with them, it's just an incredible family, and we're very grateful to have them.
Josh, it's Jude Bolton up in the box. Congratulations on a fantastic win, mate. Just the gutsiness of this team, particularly after it looked like you're blowing the cobwebs out initially in the first term, a few fumbles and drop marks and things like that. You're able to just get into your game, particularly in that third term.
Yeah, thanks, Jude. It was a tough battle. We knew the Swans were going to come out red hot after not only last week but last year as well in the grand final result. So we knew that they were going to be up for the fight. We did blow the cobwebs out in that first quarter. Bloody hell, it was hot out there. I'll tell you, it was a tough game in that first quarter. But yeah, really settled after that, I felt. And I think it works around the ball when we win the contested footy and own the territory game. That's the main thing for us. So it was nice to be able to do that from the second quarter sort of onwards.
Josh, Brenton Speed upstairs as well. Your midfield mate, Lockie Neal, kept to just 10 disposals today by James Jordan, but you're still able to get it done. It becomes a team effort in that respect.
He was saying to us out on the ground, he doesn't care how many touches he gets, he just wants us to win. So that's what you want from your skipper, and he's such a selfless person, and obviously that's what it takes to win games like this. If everyone's really doing their role and playing their role, that's what the better sides do in the end.
Josh Dunkley with us on Triple M at Footy. Brad Seymour upstairs, mate. Congratulations on a great win, a stirring win. Love the conviction up here in the box watching you lost. Young Lohman early, the injury to Logan Morris. We see him come back on the ground. Put your forward six in a bit of disarray, but you were still able to find a way.
Yeah, I mean, we pride ourselves on our depth and being able to play in multiple positions, and it might not seem like that every week because there's a lot of guys playing the same position, but when we do training throughout the week, we're rotating through there, and guys are playing forward, guys are playing back. You look at Connor McKenna, he was our sub last year in the grand final. This year he was our sub today, and he comes on, he can play anywhere. So things like that are really important for our team and our makeup.
And you're happy to mix and match down back too. I mean, led by Harris Andrews again, back six, like when it really mattered. And as Jude mentioned before, when you got those cobwebs out of the system after quarter time, the back six were basically impenetrable.
Oh, they've been incredible. Ever since I've been at the footy club, guys like Ryan Lester probably don't get the recognition they deserve. Harris Andrews, obviously talked about a lot, but he's our skipper and we expect that from him. So, playing your role is really important down there. I'd like to shout out Noah Ransworth. I think he's had a really important 12 months and he's playing some ripping footy for us. So, great to have someone like him in the team.
And hopefully Charlie Cameron comes back into the side. Obviously a late withdrawal today, but he kicked 9 in the intra-club. I mean, God, he's overdone it, has he?
He probably worked too hard in the intra-club, mate. He was up and about still pre-game for us, King, and we love him. Obviously, it'd be nice to have him out there, but unfortunately, he missed out today, and Levi came in. He was probably going to be our sub, and then obviously Connor McKenna as well. So guys just come in and fill those roles, and we just keep playing.
Well, Josh, we thank you for your time on Triple M Footy. The theatre was terrific this afternoon. A 4-point victory to kick off your season. Congratulations and thanks again for your time.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
There's the boys with Josh Dunkley after that Lions 4-point win over the Sydney Swans this afternoon. Half time here at the MCG, 9-7-61 the Magpies, 4-3-27 Port Adelaide. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with the Specsavers hearing expert today.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. They've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and get the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cash back on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres, plus receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 select BF Goodrich tyres. They won't be beaten with their best tyre price guarantee at Bob Jane T-Marts. They'll look after you. Visit bobjane.com.au or call 13 26 25.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go. Now a low $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go! It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. RedZ knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from RedZ. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. RedZ. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cash back on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus, receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go. Now a low $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go! It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter, for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
If you're a Pies fan at the MCG, you are loving what you are seeing. Collingwood 9-7-61 leading Port Adelaide 4-3-27. It was the Pies by 21 at quarter time, 34 at the half. Daisy Thomas, this has been a very good performance from the side you won a premiership with. This is the halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today.
Pleasing to see some sort of response, Al, after what we saw last week up at the Giants Stadium there, when they were well off the mark and they were slow to get away and didn't really come into it. We saw that the year before as well, and speaking to a couple of the boys after that game, that first round zero game, they said, it was hard to adjust from a grand final to then going out to the showgrounds with about 20,000 on a Sunday afternoon. I thought they were going to be a lot better prepared for that last weekend. Wasn't to be the case, so a response needed to come. And those tackle numbers, the fact that they've nearly reached what they got in the entirety of a game at halftime here, is a real indication of mindset, effort, persistence, and what they really want to execute. And on the back of that, as we continue to say, they're getting a lot of good looks and kicking a decent score.
If you weren't with us earlier on Triple M Footy, you wouldn't know that Scott Pendlebury, the great Collingwood champion, the 5 times Copeland Trophy winner, was the sub tonight for the first time in his illustrious career. What do you think of that, and when do you think we'll see him?
I think we'll see him at some stage late in this quarter or early in the fourth. It's just, I did pose the question through that first quarter and the second quarter there to Joey whether or not it was a half a statement from Craig McRae. Going too far as to drop him after some of the efforts last week may have been a stretch, but as a proud person and someone who is a champion of the football club, 400 plus games, we know all of that. No doubt he would have got a little bit of a sting starting as the sub. There could be a little bit of management to it as well, because he is north of 35 and continuing to get there. But no doubt, once he comes on, we'll see the silky skills as always, and he'll have an impact.
There's another match happening at Marvel Stadium tonight between the Dogs and North Melbourne. Choice Hotels, let's go around the grounds. Choice Hotels gets you more for your money, so you can check into more. Get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
Yeah.
Ethan Meldrum.
Yeah, Western Bulldogs 10 points to leaders at halftime. Don't know why anyone would call that game. It's pretty tight over there at Marvel Stadium. Of course, we're back here tomorrow. Melbourne v GWS, 3:20 start. Jim Signs' game. Melbourne celebrating that one. Before that, from 1 p.m, of course, the Sunday rub. You Days, you Joey, Jay Clark, the new chief of the Herald Sun there, Stevie J, Nath Brown as well.
Vicious rumours coming too, Al, that Jay-Z might be
big story potentially brewing.
Wow. No. Ralphie's written that one up.
I thought there was only one feud in football, but let's not go there. For Bob J and Team Arts, let's go down to Alexandra Bryant, the best newsreader in the business on the boundary.
Oh, God, you flatter me, and I absolutely love it. The subs are not activated right now, guys. Ryan Burton for Port, Scott Pendlebury for the Pies.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. And the Magpies start this third quarter, 34-point leaders, comfortable over Port. Port Adelaide with the first clearance out of the centre. Little wide kick to Richards. Hand pass to Drew, pass it up the boat, ran straight into Chris, was dragged down in a tackle, and the footy spilled to Steele, side bottom at half back. Found a bit of space for the Pies. Little hand pass to Howe. Missed the target with a kick down. Allows Mead in for the spoil. Runs onto his own footy. 50 from home. Squares it back up to the hot spot. 25 out. Picked up by Richards. Pushed on his kick. Does it bounce to the goal square? It does. Moore's after it. Did he get there? Touched on the line. Darcy Moore. Well done. So a 33-point lead now it is for the Pies to start this third term. And that's all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Looking for a luxurious, tough off-road caravan. Explore Australia like never before in a Titanium Caravan, where rugged, durable meets premium comfort. Australian made, 100% Australian owned. Built for the toughest terrain with superior quality and ultimate luxury. Make your next caravan a Titanium Caravan.
Houston kicked the ball back in, and it was smashed over the boundary line on the half-back flank. So it'll be tossed back in front of the Olympic stand at the MCG. Port Adelaide going to the punt road end as it's tossed back into play. Lands at the feet of the ruckman. Drew tapped it out to Rosie. Collingwood players thought it was a throw. Rosie round the body inside 50. Rioli there. Howe managed to get the spoil. Crisp collects. He slipped the tackle of both. Great hand pass. Releases Nick Dacos at half-back. Off to a running Maynard. He kicks to the AFL logo on the wing, and Myercheck takes a fine one-on-one mark opposed to Alia.
Then he bounces straight back up and hand passes off to Perryman, who's got space for the Pies. Oh, big leap at full forward and a ripping mark directly in front of goal. And the big man McStay will go back and have a shot from about 25 metres out. No angle to speak of. And a beautiful setup for Collingwood to start this third term.
Started with that big contested mark out here on the centre wing. Myercheck elevating himself. It needed to be good jukes. It was. Just a chain of handballs. Really nice start here and a nice chance for McStay to get involved as well.
McStay, left foot drop punt, City enters home, and the Magpies go further ahead. They look dangerous here tonight at the G. 39 points up they are now, as they put a real break on Port Adelaide. 10-7, 67 plays 4-4-28 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, bad signs if you're a Port Adelaide fan too, because when he took that mark, Daisy, Collingwood had 4 players out goal side. So we just see here on the Harvey Norman replay, the Maynard kick, and then watch them just burn off Port Adelaide players. Houston was running one way, Dacos another, Crisp was there. They all could have raffled it. And in the end, it was Perryman that got the deep entry. So that is a concern that Port Adelaide have come out lacklustre to start this third quarter.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. Ball back in the middle. McStay's got a couple to his name. Sweet and Cameron prepare to go at it again. Umpire lays it down. 2 ruckman engaged. Sweet the tap and tapped it straight to Cameron. His kick smothered by Rosie. Side bottom gets a little shin on it forward. Picked up by Sullivan of Collingwood. Defensive hand pass. Cameron's kick smothered by Evans. It's in dispute. Rosie over the head with the hand pass. Burn-Jones too slick for Evans. He's now tackled. And it will be thrown in the air inside the centre square. Rucks to go at it again.
So tossed up, Cameron slaps it behind him, and kicking off the ground was Perryman again. Inside forward 50, the ball tumbles. Alia came the other way, got around Elliott, punched it out to Jones for Port Adelaide. Elliott ripping tackle, took him over the line with the footy. It'll be a boundary throw in.
Some real intent here from the Pies. Pressure was really good in that first half, and it seems like they've dialed it up again. Clearly a focus after last week where they were getting 1 or 2 in the tackle but not sticking it. It's just allowed the Giants to handball, run and gun. Really positive signs here for Collingwood.
Voice of Daisy Thomas on Triple M Rocks footy as it's thrown back into play. Boak gives it to Horne-Francis who lost it. Boak goes again, gives to Rosie, gives to Horne-Francis, fends away from a couple. Left foot kick around the body, turned it over. It's marked by Cameron at right half forward for Collingwood. 65 metres from goal. McStay's a deep target. He's in the goal square with Myercheck, who's trying to create some space for him to lead into. The kick goes in the McStay direction. He charges out. Couldn't take the mark. Elliott roves at Alia, tackles him. Ball still in play near the boundary line next to the right behind post. Eventually knocked over. A throw in deep inside the Collingwood forward line, right forward pocket.
Bob Jane teammates, Alex.
Sam Powell-Pepper is here on the Port bench getting his right ankle strapped, and both coaches coaching down here tonight. Obviously Fly had that issue last weekend, was given the warning. He said he knew he was in trouble when his wife texted him and said, Craig, you cannot do that.
No, that's right. Bob Jane teammates, buy 3 get 1 free plus instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumo and Pirelli. Visit bobjane.com.au today. T's and C's apply. Ball thrown up in the air, still right forward pocket for the Pies. They'll have a very comfortable lead here, 39 points. The umpire blows the whistle again, another ball up.
Might surprise you, Baz, but I've never received that text. With the beauty of not having the name Craig.
That absolutely surprised me. Yes, well, yes.
Ball rumbles back over from the stoppage. I thought you really never received it just once.
Yes. And absolutely surprised at the stage.
So McStay and Sweet come at the throw-in. McStay took front position, attacking at Perryman near the boundary line. He can't keep it in play under the hammer from Horne-Francis. It'll be thrown back in 40 metres from goal. We've been going 6 minutes of the third quarter. Collingwood with the only goal. 1 straight to 1 behind in this term.
Around the grounds, Heath, what's happening?
Yeah, Dogs by 21 points over at Marble Stadium, early stages third quarter.
Boundary throw in here. Collingwood just lurking around their forward 50 at the moment. Port Adelaide defending desperately. And Schultz goes to ground, the footy underneath him, and again the umpire will ball it up. 39 points. The Magpies lead.
What is that?
What happened there?
Harvey Norman replay. Brad Johnson down there for Fox Footy. What was that on his head?
That was Stormtrooper's helmet. What's going on there?
Stormtrooper's helmet.
I mean, that would never happen under your watch. Such a clean, crisp ball today.
It was very good.
Out of the Cattery.
What was he doing? Stormtroopers.
Yeah. Even Daisy's confused.
I wonder if he's going to get a text from the wife.
Baz, can you get something happening in this third quarter, please?
Yeah, right. We'll see what we can do.
See if we can get something going.
Rolls it along the ground towards Georgiadis on the wing. Not much happening, that's for sure, Joey, at the moment. But Sidebottom's got it on the wing. Can he find a bit of space for the Pies? Hand pass to Josh Dacos. Another one to Howe. Another one to Moore. He just dropped it. Violi comes in, picks it up on the wing. It's still all happening on the wing. Georgiadis goes again. Hand pass over the top of Sidebottom, looking for a teammate in Rosie. He picks up now, goes on to his right. Now it's an open forward line. Who's down there? Big leap and a mark taken? No. So it goes to ground and the umpire will ball it up. It was Lukosius who had a one-on-one. It's about 25 out from Port Adelaide's goal at the punt road in. They trail by 39 points.
Thrown in the air, a roundhouse from Cameron, didn't get a good piece of it. Josh Dacos gave to Sidebottom, a hand pass to McCreary at right half back, kicks Collingwood to the members' wing. Mychek back with the flight, didn't really go in the end, and Alir comes across, taps towards the boundary line, keeps it in play. Chip pass okay, just the 15. Marked by Sin. About 14.7 according to the Collingwood fans. Defensive side of the interchange, Sin goes in short towards the logo and Mead. Mead feeds it back to Sin. Sin confronted, a hand pass, a long one to Wines. Wines at half forward, kicks inside 50, straight to Moore. A gift.
Outside five.
Bit smelly, Dave?
Yeah, a bit of a stench to this one.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Joey too.
Joey? Sorry.
Takes you a bit longer to get there than me.
Yes.
I have the shorter of the two attention spans.
Daisy's already tuned out.
Yes.
Righto, let's get something happening.
Righto, Joey.
Come back.
Yeah, around the grounds, Heath.
Around the grounds, Heath.
Give us a comprehensive update around the grounds. Look at Bevo sweating. You're right, Daisy. Bevo's sweating the house
The
down.
beads on his forehead, that is extraordinary. That's because Nick Larkey has kicked his third goal. North Melbourne within 15 points of a very sweaty Luke Beveridge's Western Bulldogs.
Well, a mark here to Schultz on the wing for the Magpies. Another short kick to Nick Dacos. How many for him, Heath?
Red Z lending stats, Nick Dacos, that's number 16.
Is this ball still on this wing, Bats?
It is. It is.
It should be like pinball where you just go multi-ball and throw another one out.
This ball has been stuck on this wing for the whole 6 minutes.
They're just all around it, getting their hands on it.
All right, someone kick it inside 50.
Kicked it out the side bottom. Side he goes towards full forward for the Pies. Elliott in front. Big leap. Didn't mark though. Port Adelaide full of the ball. Finn Layson snuck out a hand pass. The one he lost. He's gone.
Got him.
He's gonzo. And Shots got him. Play on. Maynard. He's got it. Oh, Brody. Have a look at that. Look at the smile on his head. It goes right across his face because he's kicked the goal and the joints erupted at the MCG. Joey, that was huge.
Oh, thank God for that.
Thank God. 11-7, 73 the Pies, 4-4-28 Port Adelaide. It's all the Triple M Titanium Caravans scoreboard. What are we, midway through the third term?
The only man that was flat was Lockie Schultz, who got the rundown tackle holding the ball. Finally was going to have a shot at goal. He's had a rough start to the year. And then Bruzzy just picked it up and said, nah, mate, I'll kick the goal. Thanks for doing the hard work, but I'll just reap the rewards. And he strolled in. Not sure any goals Maynard's kicked.
Well, for Red Z, is this the first one this year?
Yes, yeah, it is, Days. He kicked the 3 last year. Pies have lost 4 of their last 5 games when Braden Maynard's kicked a goal.
If you're just joining us and you hear the usual stuff from Days, just a reminder, he's had a long day at the ground.
Started at 5:27 a.m. when he got up for golf.
And the chafe that I'm now receiving after scootering on a non-powered e-scooter.
He walked into the box like Luke Beveridge who's right now, just sweating the house down.
Oh dear, McDonald's Triple M Rocks Footy 3 hot water as well. It's getting out of hand here. Inside 50, Bergman couldn't get a handle on it. Almost picked up by Hill. Collingwood in attack down at the city end of the ground, and Evans jumps on the ball to hold things up. How many different forms of transport did you take to get from the Grand Prix to here?
I was wanting to take a helicopter. They were only doing joy flights, and then I went on foot, a scooter, and a bike. So what's that for?
So Maynard's got it 50 out. Throws it on the left. He's on doing it. Maynard's gone berserk at the MCG. And the Pies army are up and about. And Maynard kicks his 22nd career goal. 2 in a minute, 12:7:79. The Pies. Port Adelaide stagnant on 4:4:28. Midway through the third term. Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
211 games, Ethan, and I can guarantee you that is the first time he's kicked back-to-back goals in any game.
Yeah, for Red Z Lending stats, that is absolutely correct. There was one game where he's kicked multiple goals before. That was back in 2017.
And they won it?
They did not win that game. They lost to the Giants by 3 points. They must have thrown him forward. He kicked both of his goals in the last quarter. There was a Ben Reid goal sandwiched in between that. First time he's ever kicked back-to-back goals in a game of AFL before, though.
Just what this game needed.
Yes. Brazzy to bring it to life.
McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. Maynard rocks footy at the moment. Out of the middle, side bottom, left foot kick towards half forward, a bouncing ball. It's in front of Hill. He collects. He's got Sin for company. And he balks him and kicks towards the 50. It's out on the full. So Murphy Reid kicked 4 in a row?
4 in about 7 or 8 minutes today. So Brazzy's got to drift forward, see if he get another one. He's in the centre circle at the moment.
That was well played by Sin there. Only in his 11th game in his short career, but did a really good job. Bobby Hill, we know he can move and make you look silly, turn you inside out pretty quickly, but just corralled him, forced him to go back down the line. He kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Goodwin Seabus Super special comments this evening. What a great duo. Seabus Super making hard work playoff since 1984. Daisy Thomas with Jay Montagna. They are the best in the business. Kick inside forward 50 for Port Adelaide and easily marked by Jeremy Howe. Very disciplined at half-back, Jeremy Howe, just inside his defensive 50. Kicks out wide to Josh Dacos. Has Josh gone tonight, Heath?
Yeah, Red Z Lending stats, just the 11 touches, 28 for him last week, so a little bit down on that past performance.
Bobby Hill has stood unopposed on that outer wing for a couple of minutes. He could really go here. No one on him.
Tim Membry just squeezed into that pack and took a ripping one-grab mark on the true wing position, and the Pies are off, Al.
They send Crisp away as he goes to the pocket over the head of Elliott. It skids over the boundary. Left forward pocket 25 metres from goal. Jamie Elliott's kicked a couple, 2 goals. One, he's at the post down at the city end in the first quarter, and then 2 nice finishes down at the punt road end. And Pies hurling it back into play. Sweet from behind, Memory knocked it down. Over at Hill, dragged it in, he's tackled, he needs to release it. This will be holding the ball. Free kick, Port Adelaide. Clearly dragged it in, and Farrell will take the free. 14 played of this third quarter. Collingwood 12-7-79, Port Adelaide 4-4-28.
Where are they busting him open at the moment? What's going wrong with Port?
Oh, they just can't move the footy. This is just quietly a 51-point margin. This is really, really poor from Port Adelaide. People enjoying this. Justin Longmuir and Michael Voss are probably sitting at home hoping that this continues. Try and take a bit of heat off their sides, because this has been very ordinary from Port Adelaide. There's another kick that one just worked, but their offence has been non-existent, really.
14 and a half minutes now into this third quarter. Chain of hand passes ends up with a Lear on the wing here. And now he goes long with a bomb to Lukosius, but he's out-busted in the marking contest. Mark wasn't completed, so Powell Pepper can go again. Terrific smother from side bottom, but it spills to Rioli. Little snap and he's missed. To the left of the goal, through for behind. 4-5-29 plays 12-7-79. It's Collingwood with a big lead. 50 points, 15 minutes into the third term.
Pies have kicked 3 goals here, Daisy, the 2 behind.
They're trying to stretch the ground, so they've got the 2 forwards or the 3 forwards always about 20 metres out from goal. But as we often see, that's the space that you want to try and keep open and keep free.
Speaking of open, Howe down the pipe, into the middle, bashed forward by Maynard. Crisp at Topoke, Hill a robe, a hand pass to McCreary, collects on the bounce, hand pass Myercheck. Collingwood magnificent from one end of the ground to the other at breakneck speed. This is getting out of control for Port Adelaide. The margin's at 56. 13-7-85 Collingwood. Port Adelaide 4-5-29, 15 gone in this, the third quarter, on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So even when that ball came out, so the point I was about to make about Port Adelaide is their forwards are starting 20 to 30 metres out from goal and just staying there. So as the ball transitions down the wing, the midfielders, and the half forwards who are heading back with the 3 forwards already there, they've got no space. They end up defending each other, so it makes it easy for the 3 Collingwood defenders who are the deepest to come forward and read the cues. On that occasion there from the Pies, they started their deepest forward level with the square. There was the big hole from the centre square which the ball came through, and then you've got options. You can sprint back to goal line or if you understand the ball carrier's got some option, you just continue to run away from the footy, and they did that. They overlapped and got the goal.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Pies out of the centre again. Nick Dacos, brilliant. Broke a tackle, ran round on a 180, kick towards full forward. Membry, hands on the footy, hand pass Myjack, hand pass long, won't break the tackle, hand pass Nick Dacos, following up. Oh, look at Nick Dacos! Have a look at him! He is an absolute superstar. Where did he come from? Started the chain and finished it. One of the greats, 14.791 the Pies, 4.529 Port Adelaide. Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, it's amazing the difference a week makes. They look so slick tonight, Collingwood. They look sharp, they look quick. They're getting across the ground. There's nothing old and slow about them in this one. In fact, it's Port Adelaide that are playing like they've got lead in the legs, Daisy, and now they are just toying with them and having their way. And this is where some players that know to fill their boots, whether it's possessions or goals, will start to really cash in, because this one's going to break open even more than it already is.
Well, the Pies fans, they have found their voice. Here we go. But the little master, Nick Dacos, he went to one knee in the centre of the ground so he couldn't get tackled.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot Willem Drew could have done throughout that. He was half a metre off him at every possession. And unfortunately, once Nick Dacos kicked the goal, Bobby Hill came over and absolutely fed it to him right in his grill.
Let's go, Bo.
Jeez.
I wasn't expecting this coming. This is it.
Harvey Norman replay. Look at Pete in the stands. Look at Dad.
Plenty of time for Pete of late, isn't
it?
For McDonald's, Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Horn Francis, a timely clearance. Had to delay things and bounce and then kick to the edge of 50. Houston tackle dispossessed. Lipinski lending support, gives to Howe. His kick smothered on the way out. Collected it half forward. Boak for Port Adelaide, off to Drew, to Boak, to Horn Francis, dropped the knees, got taken high. The umpire says you induced that. I'll have it. A ball up 70 metres from the Port Adelaide goal between the wing and half forward members' side.
Well, they need to do something here, Port Adelaide, because you can already understand what the headlines will be written tomorrow.
High ball, back to half forward for Port, punched out of the pack, and Bergman on the end of it. Runs around in a 180 and then bombs it long. 20 metres out from Port's goal. Lukosius hands on the foot, he couldn't complete it. Quainer did well at the bottom of the pack, got it to Chris, got it to Houston, got it towards side bottom. Another hand pass to McInnes, now a kick to Elliott on the outer side wing. And they look slick, their tails are up. The Magpies are enjoying their night here at the MCG.
Call for a head count.
That's what it looks like, Daisy. They are running rampant, Collingwood.
There's players and space everywhere, though. And then as soon as Port Adelaide win the ball back, it looks like that is all gone.
Lipinski on the members' wing, a chip pass to McCreary. Lipinski runs by, accepts the hand pass. Attacking side of the wing, well-weighted kick. Long couldn't take the mark. He keeps it in play. Hard on the boundary goes the banana and bites off more than he is capable of and misses the lot by a significant margin.
Come on, Longy.
Come on, young fella. Know your limitations.
Maybe a different Long. Not that long.
Top of the square, pal.
Rosie runs away from the pack for Port Adelaide. Long kick to Lukosius on a one-on-one. Bounces into his arms. Quainer's right with him. Quainer slapped it down to Crisp. He came in. Hand pass back to Quainer, then to Elliott. Elliott hand pass to side bottom. Breaks the pack. He's 70 from home. He kicks it to Bobby Hill in the square. He dragged down his opponent. And Bobby a bit frustrated. Evans did well to keep his body on him. And Evans for Port Adelaide gets the free kick in the deep left back pocket. 4.529 Port, 14.791 Collingwood, 20 and a half third term.
Boak marks the kick in the left back pocket. Dangerous one, back into the corridor, over Finlayson's head. Elliott charges through, couldn't take possession. Burgoyne tries to clean it up. It spills to Hill. He's tackled and held by Bergman. It'll be thrown in the air 35 metres from the Collingwood goal. They have an enormous appetite tonight, the Pies. And they are doing a serious number on Port Adelaide. From the ruck contest, knocked down to Burgoyne. A hand pass to Boak, a hand pass to Drew and back to Boak. A hand pass now to Pal Pepper. Look away, Boak receives the hand pass again. His hand pass hits the deck. Mead through the legs of Drew. He nutmegged his teammate. Ball in dispute now. Long fed it up. Houston couldn't take it. Long goes again. Hand pass into Houston. who collects defensive hand pass to McStay. Away to McCreery, in the middle. McCreery squaring ball. Lipinski will get it.
Yeah, he's got plenty of space, hasn't he? Look at him just fall to the wing. There's no one around him. Sets this up beautifully.
Oh my gosh, Nick's.
For Membry. And over the top, Dacos gets a shove. The umpire lets it go. Finlayson's got it. Hand pass to Evans. He's under the pump. Look at the tackle from Lipinski. That was brilliant. It's going to be rewarded, and he's 40 out on a 45-degree angle.
Their come forward pressure tonight, Collingwood, come forward to close and tackle Port Adelaide has been incredible. It's almost like it's back to 2020. Yeah, they win the flag 2023. They have just sensed it every time, committed, gone at the player and nailed them red hot.
This is the difference from last week. Sorry, Baz. They were always getting there, but it was half a second too late. GWS very crisp tonight. Port Adelaide not so much, which is inviting all that pressure.
So Lipinski, 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. That is a beautiful drop punt that hits the post. Still a good kick. 14.892 for 5.29 for Port Adelaide, 22 and a half. Third term. Eith around the grounds. Western Bulldogs, North Melbourne for Choice Hotels.
Yeah, a little setter for settler, I should say, for a very sweaty Luke Beveridge. 15 points they lead over North Melbourne. 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
So Port Adelaide bringing the ball out of defence through a running Bergman, who kicks it nicely to the members' wing, and Georgiades, who has been relatively unsighted. His kick to Sweet. Sweet still 2 kicks from goal. Members side cuts infield. Thought about a hand pass. Instead he kicks it deplorably over the head of Willie Rioli, and Houston intercepts. So he was still playing in the same jumper. Gave to McInnes. McInnes to the wing. Crisp reaches over the top of Farrell. In fact, it is Braden Maynard who's taken the mark. He's in front of the Port Adelaide bench.
A couple of goals this term. Bob Jane teammates, Alex, a bit of sub-activity on the bench.
Sure is. We've had both activated Ryan Burton in for Port Adelaide. Lockie Jones hobbled to the bench. He'd been having both his quads rubbed down a little bit earlier this third term. And it's Jeremy Howe who's left the contest for Collingwood. Scott Pendlebury waiting to come on.
Oh, the Pies have surged forward again. A shot on goal from Sullivan is good. From 25 out, slight angle, hook cooked across his body. And Collingwood just go further ahead. 15.898. The Port Adelaide's 4.529. It's all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. I don't know where it's going on there.
Daisy's heading home.
He's
seen enough. This one's over. He's had a big day. There's nothing left in this one. This is embarrassing now, really, for Port Adelaide. And just visually, it looks horrible. They've got lead in their legs. Collingwood, as we mentioned about 10 minutes ago, just toying with them now. And this is going to get ugly. If Collingwood really put the foot on the throat and go for the kill, they could pile on another 5 or 10 goals in this game, no problems.
Yeah, Red Z Lending stats started with 5 commentators in the box. We're now down to 4. Collingwood, just to put what Joey said in perspective, they've had 7 more disposals tonight, so they've had more of the footy compared to Port Adelaide. They've had nearly double the amount of tackles. They lead 53-29, so they've had less opportunity to tackle, but still really cracking in against Port Adelaide, who aren't doing the same.
The McDonald's and Bream Hotwater Triple M rocks footy as Collingwood look to come clear of the centre square again, but Josh Dacos gave it to Wines, who gives it to Boak, who turns it over. Houston squaring kicks, creative to the southern side, releases a running Crisp. He bullets one towards Sullivan, couldn't take the mark, down low, picked up by McStay, comes back into the corridor. Free men everywhere for Collingwood. Josh Dacos takes the mark in the middle of the MCG.
Seriously, it looks as if Port Adelaide haven't done a pre-season. Just watching them at the moment. And they've still got another quarter and 6 minutes to go.
It's a tough night. It's turning into a hugely tough night for Port Adelaide as Darcy Moore kicks the full forward and McStay just stands in a huge pack, and I don't know, he just leapt about a foot off the ground, and yep, I'll take that. And he's virtually, well, it's a slight angle, but he's only about 25 out.
What is going on?
He's back.
I'm a positive person. I've walked out just a little moment just to see if I could find some positivity about Port Adelaide. I walk back in and see an uncontested mark around 7 players.
I've never had someone...
This is horrible. It's disgusting. It's yuck.
I've never had someone shake my hand halfway through calling a goal and say, see you later. McStay decides to miss that one. 15.999 the Pies. Big night for them. They've been magnificent. 4.529 Port Adelaide. 26th third term. Triple M Titanium Caravan.
When was the time a side kicked 100 points before three-quarter time? Heath?
Heath?
Good question. I'll have a dig.
Thank you.
Barrel launches it long towards the wing. Georgiades upper post to Moore, who brings it to ground level, taps it cleverly to Sullivan, who's building a nice little game. To Quaynor by hand to Long. Long runs towards the 50, kicks Long. McStay in the van again. Elliott contested with him, socket through by Schultz. Oh, this is a delicious Collingwood pie. And a less appetising pear crumble. They are being smashed, Port Adelaide. 76 points the margin at the 26.5-minute mark. 16-9, 105 Collingwood. Port Adelaide with just 2 behinds in the term, 4-5-29, and that's on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Can you just repeat that, Al? That was brilliant. I just want to write that one down, that quote, and I'm going to reuse it.
Barry and I got home.
A delicious Collingwood pie and something about a crumble pear.
Pear crumble's not bad, actually.
If you hadn't got apple pie and Macca's involved, that would have been all time.
We'll work on that.
There's always room for improvement.
There's some golf tickets I can get my hands on. Stevie J was pretty keen on those.
Stevie and Baz between them have got all the McDonald's vouchers. Don't worry.
I'm under review apparently. McDonald's and
sorry, cap breach.
Yes. Kind of burst the budget in 2 weeks. Dacos out of the centre. There he is, the superstar. He got the burst, delivers to the right forward pocket. McStay from the boundary line. Don't tell me no. He's missed everything and kicked it out in the full.
Did you just call him the McStay like you were talking about him?
You start talking about it. Yes. Yes. Well, cheeseburgers like the entree.
For a limited time at McDonald's, the McStay. With a large fries and a large Coke.
A little throwdown, a little McStay.
Yeah, the cheeseburgers are the throwdowns, Al. You have to have just the entree or the main.
Yeah,
whatever you like,
and a Big Mac.
Get the cheeseburger in first, then you can enjoy your meal properly.
The word engulf is popping into my head, Baz. Scenes.
Still got another quarter of this game to go.
Well, Port Adelaide's just chipping it around in defence and doing it deplorably. As Membry comes across and spoils it away from Burton, sweeps the hand pass to Schultz, who tries to smack it forward. Nick Dacos comes to meet it. A hand pass to Sullivan. He tried to flick it to Pendlebury. Getting in the road, Evans of Port Adelaide. Off to Mead. Off to Joe Richards. Back again they go. Through a running Mead, who received it from Horne-Francis. A bounce, a kick inside the 50, and a mark. Burne-Jones slides in 35 metres out directly in front. And that passage of play was an utter contrast to everything we've seen from Port Adelaide for the previous 28 minutes of this quarter. Burne-Jones directly in front, kicking to the punt road end. Their fans have been silenced. Collingwood has banged on 7 goals, 2 in this quarter to just 2 behinds. Margin was 34 at half-time. Stands at 76 at the moment. Burne-Jones in game 200. An All-Australian and best and fairest in 2020. Burne-Jones kick on the way, looks good. That'll bring a smile to David Roden's face in between the 2 big sticks. So Port Adelaide's first goal of the quarter comes at the 29-minute mark. 16-9, 105 Collingwood. Port Adelaide 5-5-35 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
We'll have to turn our attention to the other game going across town here, Eve.
What's happening, Heath?
Yeah, choice hotels around the grounds. Nick Larkey just lining up 30 out directly in front. We're going to need a welfare check on Luke Beveridge, who was really sweaty in the box about 15-20 minutes ago. North Melbourne have just pegged it back to 7 points the difference, 10-12-72. Western Bulldogs 12-7-79.
Can we get some stats on that game, Ethan? Who's kicked the goals? It feels like Larkey's kicked a few from what we've seen.
Bevo's out of the box, which is good news.
Yeah, he's right next to a fan, which is even better news.
Yeah.
Larkey's kicked 5.
That is correct. That's a handful. Michelle.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. There's a heavy contingent of players around the ball that goes to the toes of the ruckman. Umpire lets them go. Ends up with long hand pass over the top towards Quaynor, who runs off half back for the Pies. Got an open forward line. He goes long to Schultz, who dropped the mark. Had time to go back and pick it up. Kicks across towards Sullivan. Mead gets in the way and takes the mark at half back. Don't forget at Macca's. Oh, hello, just before we go to Macca's, it could have been a turnover. Mead will clean up again. Hand pass off to Horne-Francis. Back to Mead by hand. They've got a bit of space on the outer side wing here. Burgoyne's got it. Hand pass back to Richards, who's run on. Richards now about 60 from home. Drives long. He's got Rioli in the square. Will he leap? No. He lets it go for his teammate in Georgiadis, and the ball goes out of bounds. Now back to Macca's.
Yes.
The new AFL Happy Meal is here with 18 unique bag clips to collect.
Well done, Darcy.
It's available 10:30 every morning, Al, until midnight while stocks last for a limited time only. Don't hesitate. Get in there.
They're good.
The unique bag clips.
Get in.
Love it.
Get on the school bag, collect them all.
Got the full set, Baz.
Make you feel better.
Thrown back in. Off the pack horn, Francis tackled. Literally licking your lips. Kick around the body towards the boundary line, and it floats over on the full.
Back to the 9.
Do you know why they call it the Happy Meal? No. Because it makes you happy. That's why.
Good
No
prize.
matter what sort of day you have and you grab one, you
Well, I'd get 18 out onto the field as quickly as possible because there are a few blokes in a Port Adelaide
Yeah,
camp
they
who
could do
need
with a
some
Happy
cheering
Meal.
up.
Yeah, they will. They should go straight to
Play
Macca's
on.
before they get to the airport.
Yours.
So Moore out of the back pocket. He kicks
Play
a
on.
long ball to a huge pack just in front of the Shane Ward stand
on.
towards the wing. And Collingwood with the numbers at ground level. Mycheck was in there. Little hand pass to Penderbury, the Rolls Royce on the ground, but he's coughed it up with his kick on this
Stand.
occasion.
Play on.
And Port Adelaide will run away. Burton, the sub for Port Adelaide on the ground, as we heard from Alex Bryan earlier. Kicks the ball back to the forward pocket. Darcy Moore thumps it towards the boundary line. Burn-Jones tries to keep it in. He's tackled and lost it. Dropping the ball. Free kick to the Pies. In the back pocket. Triple M Reds in Atlantic Stats East. Some of the big numbers just quickly.
Yeah, Dan Houston, number 1 ranked player on the ground, 23 touches, 10 intercepts. Of course, first game for Collingwood, playing against his old side. Side bottom, Nick Dacos. Ned Long, surprisingly, don't normally see him amongst the top disposal getters. He's got the 20 as well. They all have 20 touches. Connor Rozee, the most for Port Adelaide, he's got 27.
Thanks, Heath. Reds Lending Loans for the self-employed. REDZED.com. Around the grounds, Heath, what's happening at Marvel?
3-quarter time. Luke Beveridge very nervous. We've been keeping an eye on it all quarter. Just 7 points to lead for the Western Bulldogs against North Melbourne over at Marvel Stadium. So close eye on that one in the last term over here.
Collingwood 70-point leaders here at three-quarter time. 16, 9, 105, 55, 35. Port Adelaide for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter, the Titanium Caravans stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
the new AFL Happy Meal is here with 18 unique bag clips to collect. Available 10:30am to midnight while stocks last for a limited time only.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus, receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you. T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go, now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go! It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. RedZ knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from RedZ. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. RedZ. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Tradies, big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trade's got the lighting, fans and electrical to get it done. Join up at beacontrade.com.au.
Wow, what a big night for Collingwood. They are back, and they are back big. They're 70-point leaders at three-quarter time after a 7-1 third term against Port Adelaide. Look at Kenny Hinkley on the Harvey Norman replay. Just looking at the players board with Tyson Goldsack, his assistant there, just shaking his head and looks very despondent. Go Harvey Norman, up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo computers in store and online now. Harvey Norman, best range, best brands, best prices, and that's all guaranteed. Heath, it's a big lead on the Triple M Reds end leading stats. Some of the numbers that stick out to you.
Yeah, Collingwood crossing 100 points to three-quarter time for the first time since 2019. Been 6 years since that last happened. High score since that point, I should say. Dead set, the only stat Port Adelaide leading is the turnovers at the moment. From their fourth goal to their fifth goal, which they scored through Darcy Byrne-Jones just before three-quarter time, 57 minutes without a goal. Collingwood kicking 10 in a row in that period of time. Leading players on the ground, Dan Houston, number one ranked for his 23. Steele Sidebottom, 10 in that third quarter, up to 21 now. Connor Rozee, most of all comers with his 27 touches.
Reds and lending loans for the self-employed, redzed.com. Bob Jane T-Marts, Alex, downstairs on the boundary. Been a hot night.
Oh, it sure has been. Still 31 degrees. Don't mind the aircon if you're in that.
Yeah, beautiful.
We did have both subs. Oh, I don't doubt it, Baz. We did have both subs activated midway through the third term. Jeremy Howe out. Former skipper Scott Pendlebury in. The Pies say that was tactical. Now, Port also says theirs was tactical, but Lockie Jones had some seriously sore quads. He had the massage gun out before a quick final stint on the ground and absolutely hobbled to that huddle just then.
Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free, and plus instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumo, and Pirelli. Visit bobjane.com.au today. T's and C's apply. Joey and Days, 70 points up the Pies.
Yeah, question is whether they get to 100 and win by that much, because that's really all that we can get out of this last quarter. It's going to be a big talking point, Port Adelaide. I know there's been some horrible performances this weekend, starting with Carlton. Fremantle were disappointing, but this one's probably taken the cake, to be honest. A team that finished second last year would expect to be playing finals. Collingwood, after all the talk last week, they have absolutely wiped the floor off them. That third quarter was as diabolical as I've seen from a team with a lacklustre effort that want to run and care, Daisy.
It's not overselling it how bad they were. I've actually taken a moment to try and figure out something positive to say, and I'm still struggling. They were horrible in that quarter. It was as if two teams were playing in a different sport. Salvage, maybe winning the last quarter is the only positive I can see here for Port Adelaide, or they get through without any serious injuries. But this has been as bad a display as you're likely to see. The talking points that come out of it, as you said there, Joey, will be Kenny and obviously this succession plan, but also the ability of a team that plays in round one coming up against, or opening round I should say, against a team that hasn't then in round one. We saw it last night. The Hawks were a league above. And again, it's happened tonight, so no excuses, but maybe some reasons and some further questioning.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. We're about to start the final quarter. Can anything be salvaged from the wreckage for Port Adelaide? And Collingwood leave a serious scar. The margin is 70 points at the start of the last quarter. Sidebottom roves the ruck contest. Tackled by Mead and holding the ball. A lot of opportunity to dispose of it. Rosie's had a lot of the ball. I'm not certain about how much impact he's had as he kicks the ball inside the attacking 50. Horn Francis in the pack couldn't take it. Josh Dacos rose near the boundary line at left half back. Gives to Crisp. A couple of underground hand passes. Quaynor, 3 of them in a row. Pendlebury collects. He shoots up the hand pass. Crisp is caught. Great tackle, Drew. Got a hand pass away and the ball goes out of play. Defensive side of the wing for Collingwood, members side of the ground.
Well done, Will and Drew. Let's give him some credit. Just spoken about how lacklustre the Port Adelaide team have been, so great effort there to still commit. That's what he does. He's unconditional. That's why he's an important player in the team.
Bob Jane T-Marts, Alex.
Yeah, still side bottom. It looked like he was holding the right side of his groin after getting cleaned up in the opening play there. He had the doctor run out to him, but he looks fine now.
Nick Dacos gets the clearance from the congestion. Kick travels 40 metres, punched out of bounds. Numbers for Nick, please, Heath.
Nick Dacos, 21 disposals, of course, was the lowest ranked player on the ground in that first quarter. Worked his way into the game, 21 touches with his 1 goal, 517 metres gained, most of any player on the ground.
You still might get 37, Daisy. Every last quarter.
Wines rose it from the boundary throw-in. Drew knocked off it. Pendlebury punches it forward, picked up by Evans. He's caught by Schultz. Did he take him on? He hand passes towards the boundary, and it is escorted out of play by Willem Drew. Nephew of Adrian Gleeson, the Bear.
Oh, good man, the Bear.
Great man, the Bear.
Great man.
Good family.
Good. Around the grounds, Heath.
Yeah, the perspirations eased a little bit for Luke Beveridge. First goal of that last quarter going to the Western Bulldogs. They lead by 19 points.
All right, just for those catching up, Ethan predicted that game when the fixture came out that the Bulldogs would win.
That's okay.
So a boundary throw-in sees congestion below the ruckman again as the midfielders pile on top of the footy. And the umpire, no choice but to come and ball it up. Rosie in that pack with young Evans for Port Adelaide. Side bottom in there for the Pies as Cameron slaps it sideways. Burgoyne grabs it. Burgoyne slaps it onto his right boot for Port, and the ball will bounce out of bounds on the wing here. Some of the ones, I suppose, the Port Adelaide players, Joey, that you'd give a tick to tonight, or a couple, just a couple?
None.
That's a good question.
No, you can't give it to anyone.
Okay.
I'm honestly struggling.
Rosie's had a heap of the footy. He's had 28 disposals, but we didn't know that until we looked at it.
Horn Francis hasn't defended. Sorry, Baz.
That is comprehensive.
And that's with a genuine bit of thought too.
Yeah.
It's just not a fly-by comment.
Finlayson's been beaten. Farrell, not really. Bergman tried hard, but
Got to be out.
no, there's not many.
Oh, Houston.
That
Goes bang from outside 50, but the umpire is going to deny us the moment. So Schultz had taken a mark inside 50 from a crisp kick. He was 40 metres out. Umpire blew time off. Schultz hand pass round the back to Houston, about to bring the house down.
Come back on. Switch, Johnny.
And the moment of theatre is taken away from us. And Schultz will have to line them up.
That would have nearly been the exclamation point.
Yes.
Schultz is in front of the Olympic stand at left half forward as he starts his approach. Comes just inside the 50. Needs it to draw. It starts out at the right behind post. It's off hands and over for a boundary throw in next to the right behind post. Collingwood fans never satisfied, Daisy.
Dominate.
They want more.
They do.
Jordan.
They want punishment and they want to see it continue.
4 minutes into the final term, and Collingwood still have that 70-point lead they had at three-quarter time. Right forward, pocket deep for the Pies. Boundary throw in, big numbers around the footy. Port get there first. Punched up hand pass to Sweet, who throws it onto his right boot real high. Josh Dacos, good courage. Sent underneath a very high ball and watched it all the way into his arms and took the mark on his chest. Little short ball to side bottom. Steele, the veteran. How many tonight for him, Heath?
Steele side bottom, Red Z leading stats, 23 touches.
Nice night, and he's gone to the Rolls Royce. Pendlebury started as a sub.
He's no chance, Daisy, is he?
He turned his back.
He's going to have to kick it outside 50.
He's fresh, and if he somehow...
Look at Bruzzy Maynard. He's lurking. He wants number 3.
A bit of razzle finally.
Something. He's not kicking this.
I don't know.
I'll back him in, Joey.
Wandering in, slight angle.
You can
50
do
out.
everything else.
From 51 off the boot, he gives it everything he's got. He's gone long but left.
Johnny.
And through from behind.
How's the crowd? It missed by 4 metres.
Jeepers.
Me cheering for some of my putts today.
Baz, I found one.
Yes.
Well, I'm giving Jordan Sweet a pass mark.
All
I
right,
thought he's competed hard. He hasn't been beaten by Darcy Cameron, and he's had a bit of a crack.
Well done.
That's about it.
3 votes for persistence, Joey.
I felt bad.
You worked away for a fair while on that one. Perryman sends a left foot kick inside the 50. Elliott flies. Goes to the pocket, McStay paddles. It's over the boundary line, right forward pocket for Collingwood, who are pressing again at the punt road end. The lead is 71 through 5 minutes of the final quarter.
We are going into Adelaide as well, Joey, so the Port Adelaide fans who, if you're not catching any of this from a visual point of view, find some time tomorrow to go back and watch this, because this has been as bad as we are describing, if not worse.
Rosita Bergman by hand. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Hand pass to Farrell. Also wrapped up in a tackle by Steele side bottom. And again, the Pies another chance. Still 30 from their goal at the punt road end. And throw a blanket over about 15, 16 players underneath the ball up. Sweet. As Joey said, worked hard all night. Taps down to find a midfielder. Burgoyne grabs it. Just hacks it onto his boot again. Josh Dacos behind the ball. Drops it this time. Has time to go back and pick it up. He's 70 from home. Hand pass to Houston. And first game for the Pies, and he is very classy indeed. 169th game overall. Kicks to side bottom kick to the pocket. A whistle's gone. Evans has hit the ground hard. And Evans is going to get a free kick, helped off the ground by Bobby Hill. Deep back pocket for Port Adelaide.
That was a great mark, actually, going back with the fly to the footy and stuck it too.
He's hurt himself.
Can't take his kick. Burton kicks to Finlayson, who launches to the southern wing. Berry there. Knocked it away from Perryman, socketed forward by Richards of Port Adelaide. Perryman collects it though. Defensive side of the southern wing to Maynard Schwartz, to Nick Dacos, who cuts in front of Pendlebury and Marks. They could have raffled it. Kick goes back to centre half back and side bottom. Side bottom and Pendlebury playing together for the 307th time tonight, which equals the record in the AFL held by McLeod and Edwards, the Adelaide Crows. Now with Quaynor on the Shane one-stand wing.
Good stat, Al. Yeah, great stat, but there is zero system defensively or offensively currently for Port.
Pendlebury long kick inside forward 50.
So that's 8 uncontested marks.
They just sat back, didn't they, once that ball went? They waited.
Chipped and chipped. I don't know what the numbers are for the entirety of the match, but they just chipped their way through a defence that it doesn't really look like they care, which is a fairly bad thing to be criticised about.
It's an old-fashioned belting tonight. McStay's kicked 2 already, and he'll kick this from the...
By the way, he's been very, very good down McStay tonight.
He's about 8 metres inside the boundary. Drops it onto his boot. 45 out. Left foot drop. Punt is a ripper. Have a look at that. You picked it off the boot. It was a flush drop and 3/4 post high. The 2 fingers went up.
Did your voice just break?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. It's early in the season. Happened 17-12. 17-10, 112. High 5:35. Might be my turn to bugger off.
Is that Barry or the Grand Prix?
Listen to this. See if I can get it back.
It's Barry going through the drive-through.
Another cheeseburger. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Trading big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trades got the lighting, fans and electrical to get it done. Join up at beacontrades.com.au.
Let's do
That's good. That was better.
Tonsils.
I'm back.
Here you go, guys.
This is round 1 in the
Do your
Triple
voice
M
ever
box.
break, El?
Oh, mate. Have my moments for sure.
No, I don't think it ever has. No, you haven't. You're both.
It's happened in this game about 5 times, except I'm the newbie, so they're going harder on you, which is kind of them.
Yeah.
Horn Francis out of the middle.
This is a game you will remember too as your first Al. Absolute blockbuster going down all night.
I reckon, Al, you should listen back to this game tomorrow.
Yes.
I think just to...
Can I get the cassette tape?
Yeah, I think you should
Triple M
get it.
Studios?
Cassette tape.
Put it in my Walkman.
In a quiet moment, just replay this game on radio.
Can they play it on Triple M 90s? That's all I listen to.
This is where I'm disappointed we don't have the open hotline. 133353.
It'll definitely go and listen to the game of the round.
Call up Port Adelaide fans, call up Leroy.
Yeah. Boak and Drew. Drew kicks the full forward and Darcy Moore marks a full back for the Pies.
We did that one Sunday, Rub Baz. We got in trouble because everyone started calling up Leroy. And Leroy's going, tell everyone, stop it. They keep ringing up.
And after that codes talk we went through the other day, we're not allowed to incite violence. Probably a good reason why.
Quaynor, look at that, elite kick to Membry. Elite, the hand pass Lipinski, who can bounce to forward 50, kept the eyes low, drills the pass nicely to Myercheck, and he marks 35 out on a 45-degree angle. And Brodie has turned his back. He's kicked 2, and he'll have a crack for his third.
It is so easy.
This should be
Baz,
so
I reckon,
fun.
Baz, I reckon you could kick a few out of here. The way this is going.
Joey, don't be ridiculous.
This is embarrassing.
Oh, jeez. Brody to the punt road in at break again. He fires and puts it through. And Brody Mychek's got 3. 18-10, 118, 5-5-35 Port Adelaide. And the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. And they're just doing it beautifully, the Pies. What time are we? Midway through the final.
In all seriousness, Daisy,
If this
do you
gets
think
past 100.
I know it's ridiculous, but this talk with Ken Hinkley, does it honestly start after? It can't, can it?
It can. If they, right now, it will be starting, and we will be part of that narrative. But you can only call it as you see it. They're close to 100 points down. We're still 13 minutes to go. There's just running out of words. I'm going to have to go to the thesaurus in a minute.
Red Z lending stats. Only time Collingwood, I should say, have beaten Port Adelaide by more than 80 points. Our premiers that year, Days.
Now, news from the studio, and I'm not joking. This is not a joke. Leroy has a full board of
Tell him
You've
to
done it
record a
again. You've done it again, and he's not happy.
Sorry, Leroy.
The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks footy. Clearance for Sweat out of the middle. Burton couldn't take the mark. McCreary rolled off it. Long paddles it for Collingwood. Burton in the road at centre half back. Rosie dragged down, no free kick. Long around the body. Bergman bursts out, marks on his chest in defence for the power.
Joey, your take? Will the questions to be asked?
Oh, people will discuss it. I don't think Port Adelaide will act or do anything about it, but it won't stop some of the talk shows from raising it, and you could argue fairly so, because what they've dished up here, you've got to give them a mulligan. We've seen other teams so far this season. Collingwood were one of them last week. We were talking about how bad they were, and you've seen the response.
50 points, though.
Yeah, but you've got to give Port a chance to respond in the next couple of weeks, but it's been bizarre what we have seen from this Port Adelaide team. Maybe they will just say the conditioning was next level because Collingwood have had the game under their belt, but they are running rings around them. Look at this.
Look at this. Bobby Hill, 12 minutes, final term, runs around, runs to 40 and fires! Look at Bobby! Oh, that is brilliant, as Collingwood have been all night. Everyone's getting involved now. Bobby said, let me have a piece. And he's got it with 12 and a half left to play. 19-10, 124 Collingwood. 19-10. To 5-5-35 Port Adelaide. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Literally, as I was saying, they're running rings around him. Bobby Hill got the ball and ran rings around him.
Who did make disappear? Who was that?
Let's have a look again. An easy clearance. It was Crisp who had a couple of goes at it. It was young Logan Evans. He just had nothing, and then it was Burton, who's the sub, who actually should be fresh. It was just like he was
still there. He's in the forward pocket looking for him. He doesn't know where he's gone.
He's tapped at his wrist. He's got some taping around the wrist, Bobby Hill. He's tapped at it as a tribute to AJ, and I suspect that might be Ash Johnson.
Absolutely.
Who's unfortunately broken his fibula playing in a VFL practice match. So that's a nice moment from Bobby Hill, a nice acknowledgement of his teammate. As you know, he's got a lot of talent, but has struggled to find a spot in this Collingwood lineup. Horn Francis out of the middle, a hand pass to Burton. Triple M Rocks footy for McDonald's and Ream and Hot Water. Not sure I quite nailed that one, Baz, but we'll get there. Over the boundary line it goes. When I go around the grounds, Ethan Meldrum.
Yeah, not Port Adelaide. Western Bulldogs lining up at the moment. Aaron Norton just putting it behind through. They lead by 20 points. So North Melbourne still within touching distance. 63,282 people in the house here tonight.
What's Caleb Daniel had against his old side?
Ooh, Caleb Daniel. Let me check. Red Z lending stats. I've been signed out of that.
Horn Francis got it here in the wing. You got it, Ethan?
I don't.
He's entering a password to a different thing, and he's got it wrong.
Little short kick to Burton here. He started as a sub for Port Adelaide. He's on the wing.
Oh, that's two wrong passwords. How many goes do you get, Eve?
Short ball to Bergman. Pressure on Eve.
He's got in.
Little hand pass, Rosie. Runs forward to the centre for Port Adelaide. Kick to the pocket. Powell Pepper. Burn Jones underneath it. Burgoyne, the third man in. He grabbed it and punched a hand pass backwards to Geordiades. Nowhere to go. Look at side bottom. Just eyes on the hips. Slung him around. A free kick as easy as you'd like at half-back. Steele side bottom. Heath, we said earlier in the night, you said he was one of the oldest people in Melbourne. What's his numbers?
That's 26 disposals for him. Most of any Collingwood player. Caleb Daniel Day's up to 22 against his old side.
Moore kicks out of defence. Boak spoils it away from Sullivan over the boundary line.
In all seriousness, sorry, Ethan, the Port Adelaide forwards, because Daisy spoke about it, how they've tried to make the ground big, but they've hardly been able to help on team defence. What are some of the tackle numbers for the Port Adelaide forwards tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. They're minus 25 tackles. Sam Powell-Pepper hasn't laid one. It's his return game, of course, in that ACL. Joe Berry on debut hasn't laid one. Georgiades just the one. Willie Rioli just the one.
Willie Rioli on cue, glides through the 50 and fails to finish. He pulls the kick terribly. In fact, it's not even a score. McInnes has marked it in between the point and goalpost, and he kicks to the left back pocket to Quaynor.
Stand. Quaynor will go back to him across goal to McInnes. He goes short at half back again to Lipinski, who marks and runs. Low ball to the wing. McCreary, look at the Pies fans, they want more. 19 goals so far, heading to the 20. 89 points, that lead.
89 points, second biggest margin for Collingwood over Port Adelaide ever.
That is huge. Long kick forward to the wing, Myercheck. They've been magnificent, the Pies. Spills to the back to Burton for Port Adelaide. He'll clean up with a hand pass to Wally Wines. Another one to Boak, the veteran of the competition. Hand pass to Rosie. Oh, tackled by McCreary. Tackled by McCreary, dispossessed. Burton there to help clean up. His hand pass straight to Long. Side bottom got in the way. Drew's got it down the centre.
Hand pass away to Evans. Evans lowers the eyes and hits Georgiades, who's been paid the mark when he really didn't control it. Man on the mark, top of the 50. Short pass on to Horn Francis. He marks 30 metres out directly in front. So a chance to kick what is very much a consolation goal for Port Adelaide. They have not scored in this final quarter. We've been going 16 and a half minutes. Margin at 89 points. So it doesn't matter really what happens from here. This is going to be a huge humbling for Port Adelaide to start its season. Horn Francis coming off an excellent 2024 season. Runner up in the best and fairest. Looking to the Collingwood cheer squad end of the ground, and he puts it straight over the goal umpire's hats. So Port Adelaide gets its sixth goal, its first goal of the final quarter at the 17-minute mark of it. 19-10, 124. Collingwood, Port Adelaide 6-5, 41. The Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Good enthusiasm from you two. Excellent.
You know what I was thinking about there? I was thinking about if red onion should be in salads. I had one before and there was too much of it.
Mine's drifting a bit, Dave.
It is.
This isn't sort of drawing you in.
No, it hasn't. And you know the disappointing thing? I was genuinely excited looking at the fixture for this one. I thought it was going to be a really good game. I was pretty big on Port coming into it, and the fact that they came up against a Pies side that we thought was going to respond, but we weren't sure where they were actually at. And from the very outset, it's...
My concerns coming into the year with Port was whether the whole Ken Hinkley energy, you know, the us versus the world and everything that they've used for the last couple of seasons, the final year of the contract and all this talk, whether once the succession plan was sort of announced, whether it just lost that edge, that sort of let's play for Kenny, you know, I don't know, it's just, it's been very lacklustre, very spiritless.
Questions raised. That's what you're talking about, Joey. Questions will be raised. So for McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Drew, bottom of the pack's got it at half forward, kick across to Boak and he marks. Boak goes short, further inside forward 50. And an opportunity presents now for Burton to go back and have a shot. He started as a sub tonight. He's on a 45-degree angle and he'll kick from about 45 metres.
It's also the lack of structure ahead of the ball, but then on turnover behind the footy. Like they have no method going forward and haven't been able to take it through the Collingwood Football Club. But then once they turn it over, they haven't been able to stop them in any way.
So Burton saddles up from 49. It won't be a goal. It may not be anything. It goes right across the face. It's still in play. Meads got it at ground level, immediately tackled and lost it. Perryman at the bottom of the pack shoveled it out towards McInnes and the ball eventually out of bounds through young Sullivan.
I wonder, Daisy, if this is the byproduct of maybe a new game plan, because they spoke about once Charlie Dixon retired and the new look forward line, they wanted guys that could kick, that they've almost tried to, instead of kicking to a contest like they did with Charlie Dixon and get numbers, they've tried to spread the field and it has just left them horribly exposed.
Get to the bin and rip the old one out.
Yeah.
Side bottom, rips it clear, bombs it out of defence. Sin gets there first, but he knows he's got Hill on his hammer, and that made him nervous. He had a fumble, but managed to knock it back to Finlayson. Squaring kick dangerous. Smashed forward by Schultz away from Aliir, who was about to mark. McStay's hand pass knocked down by Bergman, desperate in defence. Side bottom crashes through Sin. He's at left
There's
half
4v1
forward.
inside
He
50.
finds Schultz. This is processional now. Hill, a ball, sells the candy, unselfishly kicks to Membry in the goal square, and Tim has 4. An utter demolition job being done by Collingwood on Port Adelaide. 20 goals, 10, 130 to Port Adelaide, 6-5-41. We've been going 20 minutes of the final term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. What a performance, but how effortless.
Port Adelaide had the football back on centre wing. They had 3 numbers behind the football, and in a blink of an eye, Collingwood had 5 in front of it. Schultz, Myercheck, Bobby Hill.
Look at Finlayson. He does not give one stuff.
But look at the red. There is 5 inside 50 to nobody. Like, if this was happening in an under-12s game, you'd be furious. Oh, this is as bad as any footballing effort and system that I've ever seen at this level.
From a team that played in a preliminary final last year, Daisy.
I don't even barrack for Port and I'm upset for them.
McDonald's and Remote Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Strong words from the team. And Triple M C-Bus Supers as Collingwood go forward again. Long drops to Mark. Had time to pick it up. His kick smothered. Farrell. And centre half back for Port Adelaide. Hand pass over the top to Drew. Got a player running through the centre. That being Boak. And he hand passes out wide towards Lukosius, who kicks a long ball inside. Underneath it, Horn. Francis couldn't mark. The ball goes to ground. Trying to rip in and pick it up was Houston, did well. Shuffle down a hand pass to Crisp. His kicks off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. Triple M C-Buses, of course. C-Bus Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Good year, 84, Reece. Good year for footy.
What happened, Baz? I wasn't born.
Oh, I think the Bombers won the footy.
Oh, no.
You're still living off that.
Oh, no.
Look at this.
They're going to walk it
Look
away.
at this.
Mark's on the wing.
Look at this.
McStay over the top.
Look at this.
O'Leary's on the treadmill.
Nick Dacos goes to Hill, and Bobby Hill marks on the edge of the goal square.
Bobby.
It's utter circle work.
Bobby around.
I'm going to stop speaking because I'm...
2 more metres in front, Jeremy. 1 more metre.
You know they're sharing it around when Bobby's 5 metres out looking for an option. It's just all mates out there at the moment.
This has been horrible from Port Adelaide, and Collingwood is feasting. The chant goes up. Hill casually pops through his second. 21 goals on the board for the Pies. 21-10, 136. This looks like being 100-plus point shellacking. Port Adelaide 6-5-41, 22, nearly 23 played. 100th career goal for Bobby Hill. That was as easy as it gets. And that score coming to you on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, that is, again, it was so easy. How many players were streaming forward for Collingwood? Daisy's right. I'm not sure what else we can say.
I honestly feel bad.
It's embarrassing
for potting the players, but Aliir on that instance, there was a turnover, and if he got above 10 kilometres an hour, which is a pace that I thoroughly enjoy on the treadmill at the moment, probably close to max velocity, I reckon I could have gone straight past him and given him windburn.
McDonald's and Remote Water, Triple M Rocks footy, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a ream. Pies 95 points up. The interest now, can they break the triple figures? It's been an absolute belting. Josh Dacos at half-back tries to work it out. Port Adelaide inside forward 50. George Yardage lays a tackle. And the umpire will ball it up 49 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal.
There we go, Ned.
Harvey Norman replay. The coaching box at Port Adelaide looking a little downcast, shaking heads. Pendlebury's got it. At half-back, hand pass Josh Dacos. His hand pass has gone astray. Lipinski lays a tackle. Ends up with Drew. The spillage, short kick. Georgiadis marks for Port Adelaide about 30 metres out. Left forward pocket. And a little bit worse than a 45-degree angle.
10 metres.
How many tackles each for the Pies?
Yeah, they've got the 67, so as you were saying, they had, 39 last week against the Giants. They've blitzed that. That's the number Port Adelaide have had tonight. They've only had 39. So despite the fact Collingwood have had 26 more disposals, they have had 28 more tackles as well. That's a shellacking.
How many marks inside 50 if you could after this goal goes through?
Georgiadis settles and will have a crack for his first goal of the night. Drop punt, 35 out, and he's missed. He's hooked it. Magpies by 94 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. We got 4.5 minutes left of the game.
Go around the grounds for Red Z lending. It's a bit of an unfortunate incident at Marvel by the looks.
Yeah, it looks like Luke Cleary's been knocked out. Looks in a bad way, to be honest. Stretches out, hasn't really moved. Luke Beveridge ran down to the bench. I think Jackson Archer got him with a knee. Dogs by 20 points with 6.5 minutes left in that game.
As Richards kicks Port Adelaide inside 50, and Boku's tried hard for Port Adelaide marks. He's 45 metres out. The angle is negligible. Puts the mouth guard in the sock and will go back and line them up.
Stay out.
Red Z lending stats. That's actually Port Adelaide's 11th mark inside their forward 50. Just the 2 goals, 3 from those 11 marks. Collingwood with the 17. They've scored 10 goals, 4 from their 17.
Well, he's been Port Adelaide's longest serving player in the AFL. And this a night that he will not want to remember.
Post.
He hits the post. That puts the utter exclamation mark on what has been a nightmare night for the team from Port Adelaide.
Who do Port have next week, Al?
Richmond.
The next 2 games. They got
Richmond next
Richmond.
week.
You tell me, Joey.
Who's going to start favourite?
If Richmond roll them,
Then that's a different conversation. Oh, well, we shouldn't say that about Richmond because they played excellent.
no, I mean it's a viable option. Not.
As in they could win Richmond?
Yeah, and then
Where's it at? Al, back at
That's in Adelaide, and then the following week, a Thursday night against Essendon at Marvel.
And then the Hawks in Gather-Round, is that soon after?
Round 6.
Tough night for Port, no doubt about it, and a tough run ahead. Back home next week, can they regather as they work their way through a bit of traffic here from the wing? A hand pass comes from Richards towards Rosie. The skip goes long towards goal. It's not going to make the distance. Touched by Quainer over the line. 92 points to lead now to Collingwood. 21-10 plays 6 goals, 8. And we're 29 into the final term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Quaynor runs in, takes metres, hand passes to the left back pocket. Josh Dacos. Towards Schultz on the wing, a well-weighted kick. He couldn't mark. He ran into Burton, who barreled him. Got a hand pass to Maynard. Scrubs a kick. Finlayson looks out on his feet. It's off his boot. He runs onto it, gathers it, takes it out in front of the Port Adelaide bench.
Around the grounds, Heath, that young Cleary got the heavy knock you were talking about over at Marvel Stadium.
Yeah, we're just watching on the Harvey Norman. That is nasty. That's real proper nasty. Luke Cleary just going head over the ball. Jackson Archer coming the other way, just knee flush top of their head.
That shouldn't be replayed.
No, it shouldn't be replayed. I agree with you, Days. Moving his arms around as he was being sort of carted off the ground. So he's moving, he's awake. That's good signs. That's what we want to see. But he looked in a bad way for a little while.
Yeah, that's a massive hit. All right, Bob Jane team, Alex.
Yeah, Joey's one positive. Jordan Sweet has just come to the bench. He's having some pickle juice and he's also having his right calf looked at.
All thrown in the air. True wing right in front of us in the Triple M box. And Steele side bottom got the tap down to him and he saw it out of bounds. So just over 28 minutes now into the final term. 2:22 on the clock. And 92 points on the Beacon Trade scoreboard. Tradies, big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trades got the lighting, fans and electrical to get the job done. Join up at beacontrades.com.au.
Wines and Long go up in ruck. It's got to that level of care factor. Rosie and then Richards. Richards out to Willie Rioli. He marks at left half 40, 75 metres from goal. Pal Pepper leads to the pocket. Kick goes in his direction. It's very wide. He marks just inside the field of play and crashes into the fence. Grabs at his right shin as well, Sam Pal Pepper.
1 more metre across. Please.
So he will be about 35, 40 metres out, hard on the boundary, over in the left forward pocket, kicking to the city end of the ground. Great story to see him back. He's so important for Port Adelaide when he's up and going. Hasn't had a big influence. A curling kick around the corner is across the face and a minor score. So Port Adelaide with 4 consecutive behinds, and the margin is now 91 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Boys, hard not to look away from Port Adelaide, but how good the Pies tonight. They went down last week to GWS. Their bounce back has been enormous.
Yeah, this looked like the Pies that I think a lot of us thought we'd see this season. Daisy and I both had them sort of top 4 contenders, and I did back them in tonight. I thought we'd see a much better performance, and this is the Pies that we want to see. It starts with their defensive pressure. They come forward to get after the opposition, then their press, and then off the back of that you get your ball moving and your speed, and they look much quicker.
Big leap on the wing here to Elliott. Doesn't mark. Full of the ball. Farrell's got it for Port Adelaide. Little hand pass Rioli. Another one to Rosie. as he works his way to the centre of the ground. How many for Connor tonight, Heath?
34 most on the ground.
Yeah, he's had a crack, and he kicks inside forward 50, the skip. It's punched away by Darcy Moore. Maynard had his hands on it. He punched it further away. Lipinski there, just hand passed over his head in hope. Burne-Jones was waiting though. Got it to Powell Pepper, another hand pass to Drew. Squares it up to Boak. Boak dropped the mark. It's now Richards who goes on it. 50 from Port's goal. And Wines dives at the footy, but he punts it straight to Pendlebury. And the Pies are out of trouble at half-back with a squeezing ball. And Schultz dives to his knees and marks.
Sweeps the hand pass laterally to Quaynor. Quaynor kicks to the wing. McStay all on his own. And again, they just canter away, Collingwood. A hand pass to Crisp, who's got Nick Dacos in space. Squaring kick. Membry might line up for 5. The spoil comes from Finlayson. Punched down by Evans, now picked up by Mead. At centre half-back, a hand pass. Winds off to Rosie. Goes for a try to bounce from the centre circle. It's an awkward, scrubby kick.
Was that by design?
I'm not sure, Hayes. That is socket by McInnes over the boundary. It would be insufficient intent. It doesn't matter. Collingwood has produced in a big way and shaken Port Adelaide to the core. A 91-point humbling. 21-10, 136 Collingwood. Port Adelaide, a disastrous start to the season. 6-9, 45.
Well, that is huge. That is massive. A huge win for the Magpies. We look down at a ground level, and Kenny Hinkley, the coach of Port Adelaide, with Craig McRae, the coach of Collingwood. And Kenny just shaking his head. Craig McRae trying to remain humble, but that's a big win for his club. 91 points after going down to the GWS last week. Daisy and Joey have headed down to the Collingwood rooms. Don't forget at McDonald's, the new AFL Happy Meal is here. 18 unique bag clips to collect. Available 10:30 to midnight, while stocks last for a limited time only. So we'll head down shortly, host broadcaster Fox Footy, and we'll hear from one of those Collingwood heroes. This is the Triple M Amy review. Clangers happen. Lucky you're with Amy. But a big win to the Magpies, and some of the big numbers certainly their way here tonight. 21-10, 136, defeating Port Adelaide 6 goals 9, 45. And for your first call, Alistair, it was a big win to the Pies. We'll get down to ground level. Was down there one of their heroes, Dan Houston, against his former club tonight. He's with Brady Johnson.
Tough week. It's one of those ones probably never going to happen again. First game against Port, so I was a little bit nervous. I've got a lot of respect for the club and the boys, so wasn't sure what Kenny was going to throw at me. But yeah, I've got a lot of respect for the club. It was a long week, but I'm so glad to be at Collingwood and get the win.
Wasn't bad, was it, when you heard the final siren go and the cheer from 60,000 Collingwood fans?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, this is what you dream about when you're a kid, to play in front of a crowd like this. It's got your back, so loud. To get a win like this, unbelievable.
Tackle pressure was back tonight.
Yeah, it was. I think last week we probably, I think we had 39 tackles or something. So it was on the whiteboard this week, and I thought the boys lifted. We rocked up in numbers and, got after them.
You're a bit stiff when the umpire called the one back when Schultze handballed to you.
Oh, I know. I was like, can't. And then shoot and miss, so I was a bit flat. But, it's good. The boys, the forwards kicked pretty straight, which is good.
It was good to watch some of your flow, even the trick play. Not a trick play, it's a kicking goal, but the way that you're able to structure that, set it up nicely and score with my check.
Yeah, there was. There's a lot of unpredictability about how we play, but we get numbers there, and Bruzzy, I think, made that one up, and it ended up in the score, which is good.
Did you do things differently this week? Obviously, the boys cramped a lot last week. I was at the game live as well. Did your preparations a little bit different in the lead-up?
No, we felt like a fair bit. It was the conditions because both teams were cramping last week. I wasn't there, obviously. Bit of cramp for me tonight and a few other boys, but that's just what happens at the start of the year. It was pretty hot today as well.
Well done. First game for the Pies. Awesome win, and congratulations.
Thanks, Johnny. Cheers, mate.
Dan Houston, the boys will join him in the room shortly. That's Joey and Days. Around the grounds, Choice Hotels, please. What's the score over there, Al, at Marble?
Yeah, North Melbourne just lining up for goal, and it looks like Luke Davies-Uniacke has kicked one. 2 minutes to go there, Baz, and the margin has been sliced to 15 points. 17-10, 112 the Dogs. North Melbourne 14-13, 97.
91-point winners here, the Pies, for McDonald's and Remont Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Tradies, big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trade's got the lighting, fans and electrical to get it done. Join up at beacontrade.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus, receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go, now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go! It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. RedZ knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from RedZ. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. RedZ. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus, receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go, now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M footy review for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Big win for the Pies here. 21-10, 136, defeating Port Adelaide 6-9-45. 91 points to win. They were 21 points up at quarter time. 6 goals to 3 first term. 3 goals to 1 second term. 34 up. 70 points up 3 quarter time with a 7 goals to 1 burst in the third quarter and a 3-1 in the final term. Big win for Collingwood. Choice Hotels are in the grounds. Please, what's happening, Al, over at Marble? All done over there.
Yeah, Siren's just gone. Baz and the Western Bulldogs have won 17-11, 113 to 14-13, 97. Nick Larkey kicked 5 in a losing side for the Kangaroos.
Tim Membry, 4 goals here tonight for the Pies, 3 of those in the first term. Hill kick 2, McStay 2, Elliott 2, Maynard 2, Mychek 2, the multiples for Collingwood, no multiples for Port Adelaide. Choice Hotels get you more for your money, so you can check into more, get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So a massive win for the Magpies. They're starting to head to the rooms. They're very, very happy after a tough week last week, Al, over in Sydney. Great call from you tonight.
I loved every second of it. So much fun.
The debut on Triple M Footy's been enormous.
Great fun.
You've worked out that I'm an absolute blonk, and thank you for carrying
You're
me
a
through
very
the
good man, mate. You make
All right.
life very easy.
Let's head to the rooms because we've got a couple of the real stars down there in Joey Montagna and Daisy Thomas.
The boys are making their way in here, Baz, and you know the drill, mate, from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks your footy. Joey, a pretty happy Pies rooms, not surprisingly.
No, so they should be. It was a comprehensive performance and a great response after what happened last week.
Tell you what you do need to do, though, McDonald's. A new AFL Happy Meal is here with 18 unique bag clips to collect, available 10:30am to midnight. Yes, that is still tonight. While stocks last, won't be there for long, limited time only. I reckon they're going to belt this one out, Eve. I'll sneak in. Of gusto there, Joey, but this is now the Triple M Amy review. Clangers happen. Lucky you are with Amy. They didn't give it a whole heap, but probably because they could have sung it at quarter time.
Yeah, no, that's right. We're going to get a couple of players in just a moment. While we do wait for that, we should get to the Maccas I'm loving it moment.
Absolutely. Tonight's I'm loving it moment happened when a little defender snuck forward. This is how we called it on Triple M Footy.
All right, someone kick it inside 50.
Kicked it out the side, bottom side. He goes towards full forward for the Pies. Elliott in front. Big leap, didn't mark though. Port Adelaide full of the ball. Finlayson snuck out a hand pass to Wally Lyons. He's gone.
Got him.
He's gonzo. And Shot's got him. Play on. Maynard. He's got it. Oh, Brody, have a look at that. Look at the smile on his head. It goes right across his face because he's kicked a goal and the joints erupted at the MCG.
Nice moment there. We were sort of clutching at straws. As you can probably hear, but Buzzy Maynard kicked 2 back-to-back goals there. We are chasing an interview. That is, course, brought to you by Bob Jane T-Marts. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumo and Pirelli tyres. Visit bobjane.com.au today. T's and C's apply. The Bruzzers walking.
Do we get Bruzz?
Are we getting the Bruzz?
We get Bruzz.
We got brushed. That's what we got.
Mate.
We got absolutely brushed. I'm not sure what's happening down here. I was once royalty here, Joey. I'm getting brushed by a lot of people.
You can't get anybody.
It might be the fact that you're in here.
They are walking past us.
I'll tell you what we can
Nobody
do,
wants to
Joey.
stop and talk to me.
While we're chasing an interview, we can get through the Triple M MVP award. And you have got the votes tonight.
Oh, we shared the votes. I've got 1 vote to Dan Houston. We thought that he was terrific. 10 intercept possessions, particularly in the first half. He was everywhere. 2 votes to Dan McStay. I thought he was sensational. One of the better games that he has played for the footy club. 3 goals, 2. I think had a lot of disposals, and he was in everything. He was clunking marks as well. But we decided, or maybe you decided, to give Steele Sidebottom the 3 votes. The old boy. BOG to start the season, why not? He had plenty of ball. He used it well. He was calm and composed. So Steele Sidebottom gets the 3 votes.
He was absolutely fantastic, and as was this man. You said I was getting brushed by everyone. I just went straight to the top.
You got the biggest.
We've got the biggest name, a man who has come across a big signing in the off-season from Port Adelaide and went head-to-head with his old side tonight. Dan Houston, welcome, mate, and how'd you find that?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think all day I was a bit stressed about how it would go, and I didn't even think that was an option of winning by about 100 points. So absolutely over the moon. Still trying to get over it.
Any sledging? Did anyone try and give you any lip, or was it just pretty cool and calm?
Nah, it was pretty cool and calm. I think a lot of respect's been had between myself and the club the whole time, and yeah, I was expecting a lot of respect today as well. So I got a lot of respect for Port, and wish them luck for the rest of the year. But yeah, it was all played in good spirit.
We commented the first half in particular, but probably for the whole game, the pressure was elite. The come forward defence, the tackle pressure, was that a big focus coming into tonight after the way the boys sort of performed last week?
Yeah, definitely. I think we only had 39 tackles, which just doesn't cut it at AFL level. So the boys rocked up, put pressure on, and then Port were making some really basic mistakes, and we just kept rocking up, putting pressure on.
You were outstanding in that. 39 tackles last week, 38 to half time for the side. The one moment that did get called back on you. You got a little wraparound handball and banged it from 50. That would have been a little bit of icing on the cake.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit nice, but unfortunately I have to go back to the drawing board and work out that when the mark's getting set, you can't call for the ball, so that's new to me.
I know it's a bit of an awkward. Did it surprise you what happened with Port Adelaide in the second half tonight? Like, they really stopped to a walk. It was really obvious from us watching. Maybe it was the game that the boys have already had under the legs, but it really broke open and it was sort of hard to watch for periods of that second half.
Yeah, Port have generally been a really fit team under Kenny, and I think the first game under the belt, that happened to us last week. I don't know exactly what the boys felt because I wasn't there, but they seemed to seize up a little bit after half time, and that's similar to Port. Hot day today, a bit muggy, so could have just been the first game.
You weren't a part of what happened last week, but the review process, what was Fly most disappointed about and what became the biggest focus tonight?
Yeah, I think when you're playing away, there's some indicators for us about celebrating our little wins and stuff, which we didn't do, and we know whether we win or whether we lose, what the scoreboard shows, we need to be doing those actions. We weren't doing that. Tonight we rocked up, did those actions, and then the scoreboard looks after itself. Whether it does or it doesn't, we need to be a good team, mate.
Just the last one, mate, Timmy Membry, was great for him tonight to hit the scoreboard particularly early, kicked the 4 goals, but 3 in the first quarter, he really set it up.
Yeah, he's an awkward matchup to me. He goes at the high ball, can jump, and then he's good at ground level. And I think those 3, Mycheck, Membry, McStay, all good hard matchups.
Yep.
Congratulations, mate, on your first appearance in the black and white stripes, and hopefully what's going to be a big for you and the club.
Perfect, thanks guys. Cheers.
Well done, mate.
Outstanding stuff.
What a start he is. How good's he going to be?
And what a start. You come out, you miss round 1, you get back out here and you come up against your old mob and you flog them to the tune of 80 plus points.
He'll sleep well tonight.
We will go to choice hotels around the grounds. It was the Western Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium taking on the Kangaroos, and the game was halted for a little bit with a serious injury to a Western Bulldogs player, but we are just chasing the results from the Western Bulldogs North Melbourne game as I welcome in
Tracy.
Alexandra Bryant.
Hello, I was trying to find you someone else to interview.
That's completely fine. Have you got the results from the Western Bulldogs North Melbourne game? As we said, there was a little moment there where the game was paused, a pretty bad injury, but it looked like the Western Bulldogs were a chance to run away with that game as North Melbourne were pretty gallant.
They had a win. I wouldn't say run away though. 113 to 97. 113, sorry, in case you thought that was 30. 113 to 97.
A nice win then for the Western Bulldogs. So they got away with one there. We knew that North Melbourne were going to put up a decent fight. That is for Choice Hotels. Choice Hotels get you more for your money, so you can check into more. Get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. Thank you very much, Alex Bryant. You've been an absolute star on the boundary. Joey Montagna, the 2 boys calling up there, and everyone behind the scenes. 63,287 in the house to see the Pies smack Port Adelaide tomorrow. The Sunday rub will be back with Joey, myself, and everyone else. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M Footy Review for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Melbourne, weekdays from 6. It's Mick in the Morning. It's the show with Mick Malloy, Nick Rewalt, Titus O'Reilly, and Rosie Walton.
The MCG round 1.
Let's go, Tigers.
We got underway, and your boy Sam Lawler.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Yes, it's unbelievable.
I gave him a cuddle in the room, and then he goes, "You need to stop now."
It was more, but you're trying to spoon him.
No.
Start your day with Mick in the Morning. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's Triple M.